My child, listen to me. You were not meant to sleep through this moment. I interrupted your scroll, stirred your spirit, and sent this message straight into your atmosphere because there's something I've been waiting to show you. Tonight is not random. It's holy. What you're about to hear will not only explain why you felt the pressure, the delay, the restlessness, but it will break something open inside of you that has been locked up for far too long. So don't pause. Don't click away. Don't silence what heaven is about to shout. If you miss this, you miss me in motion. Watch this to the end, and I mean to the very last second. Because if you do, I promise you, something eternal will awaken inside of you. I will not let you sleep on your destiny. And after this you will never be the same. My beloved, before you ask why your rest is disturbed, before your heart labels this sleepless night as frustration or inconvenience, hear me clearly. I am the one who stirred the stillness. I am the one who pulled the veil of night back and stepped into your room with deliberate intent. This is not restlessness without reason. This is not punishment for something left undone. This is holy pursuit. I have chosen this moment, this breath, this exact hour, because heaven has been waiting for your spirit to become quiet enough, open enough, desperate enough to receive what I have long held in my heart for you. You are not here by chance. You are not awake because of mere anxiety or overthinking. You are awake because I have come near with revelation that could not be postponed any longer. I have watched the rhythm of your life, seen the pace of your days, and heard the whispers you offered beneath your smile. I have watched you serve others while your own soul ached in silence. And now I cannot wait another second, not because I am angry, but because my love has reached a threshold, and what I've stored in secret is pressing against the walls of time. You see, child, when my spirit hovers, it is never random. When I delay sleep, it is never without sacred intention. This divine interruption is a mercy in disguise, an answer wrapped in tension, a visitation birthed from the cry you thought I never heard. I am disrupting your night because the pace of your days has been robbing you of my whisper. The noise, the expectations, the constant demand to be okay, they've created an atmosphere where my softest words have been drowned out. But here, in the stillness of midnight, when the world slumbers and no one is demanding your strength, I move. I do not need light to enter your room. I do not need a pulpit to declare truth. I need only your attention, and I have it now. You wonder why I didn't come with thunder or flashing signs. But I know how tender your spirit is tonight, how fragile your hope has been. So I came in quiet force, mighty enough to stir your soul, gentle enough to hold your weariness. This interruption, beloved, is not me taking from you. It's me handing something over. Something eternal. Something only your midnight surrender can receive. I am not here to scold or demand. I am here to realign, to reset what fear has distorted, to awaken what despair tried to bury. This moment is sacred, and I will not waste it. I'm here, not because you're failing, but because you're ready, even if you don't feel it, even if your heart is unsure. I see the soil of your soul, and I declare it good. Tonight is not random. It is redemption. You are not being punished. You are being pursued by the very love you forgot how to pray for. I will not let you rest in ignorance. I will not allow slumber to blanket your eyes when something holy lies inches from your reach. I will not permit the comfort of routine to rob you of revelation. You've walked through so many days half awake, operating with functioning hands but a frozen heart, moving with momentum but missing my miracle. But tonight I press pause on the rhythm of sleep because your spirit is standing on the edge of something eternal. Yes, This very hour, not tomorrow, not later, not when the world approves or understands. Now, because what I've placed in front of you is no small opportunity, is no shallow decision. It is the next door in a divine sequence, strategically crafted, spiritually timed, sealed with your name, and waiting for your yes. And I cannot allow you to slumber past it. You have prayed for answers. You begged me to reveal direction. You've cried for clarity, whispered for a word, longed for a signal that you were not wandering in circles. And now I've brought you to the threshold of revelation, but your eyes are still adjusting, your mind still fighting to define what only your spirit can discern. So I will keep you awake, not as punishment, but as positioning. Not to torment you, but to tenderly train your attention toward the treasure I've placed within arm's reach. You don't need a new miracle, beloved, you need awakened vision. Because the miracle is already in motion. It's been quietly moving while you waited loudly. It's been growing roots beneath the surface while your faith wrestled with doubt. But now it's ready, and so are you. And yes, you may argue with me tonight. You may say, Lord, I'm tired, and I will respond, I know. You may say, I've done all I can, and I will answer, now let me do what only I can. I will not leave you wandering in confusion, but I also won't allow you to miss the moment simply because it arrived dressed differently than you expected. You keep looking for lightning and loud voices, but what I've placed in front of you has come cloaked in quiet certainty, wrapped in stillness, marked not by applause but by anointing. This is not the time for casual faith. This is the time for courageous alignment. I've placed it before you, yes, that divine assignment, that relationship I orchestrated, that calling you tried to bury beneath excuses and exhaustion. I placed it here, right here. And I'm waiting not for performance, but perception. The very thing you've asked me for is the thing you now hesitate to touch because it looks unfamiliar. But listen to me, child. Don't miss it. Don't mislabel it. Don't mistake my delivery because of its disguise. I am not giving you leftovers. I am handing you legacy. This is not a recycled opportunity. This is revelation custom designed to match your DNA, your decisions, and your destiny. And it is no longer coming. It is here. Here. In your room. In your moment. In your reach. And until your spirit awakens to this truth, I will not release you to rest. I'm drawing you out of slumber because this moment is saturated with sacred significance. And not only do I want you to see it, I want you to seize it. Your awakening is not about hyperactivity, it's about divine awareness. This is not about working harder, it's about waking deeper. Because when your spirit awakens, decisions shift. Desires are recalibrated. Delays are broken. Discernment sharpens. And suddenly, what felt far becomes tangible, what seemed impossible becomes intimate. You were never waiting for the right season. The season was waiting for you to wake up. And now that your soul is listening, now that your breath has slowed and your heart has softened, I will speak with fire wrapped in whisper, with thunder disguised in tenderness, because I know what your soul can handle. And I'm not trying to overwhelm you, I'm trying to overhaul you. You are crossing the line between awareness and activation, and this awakening will not leave you the same. It will clarify your calling, expose your enemies, affirm your authority, and anchor your next step. So stay alert. I'm not letting you sleep through this miracle. You've cried beneath the sun and sighed beneath the stars. You've offered me desperate prayers in the rush of morning traffic and buried your face in your hands when the moon was your only witness. You've wept with worship playing in the background and collapsed into silence when words ran dry. And I watched it all. I caught every sigh and cradled every tear like treasure. I didn't overlook your ache. I delayed my answer only until your spirit could receive it. You weren't ignored. You were being insulated, hovered, guarded, protected. Because what you were crying for required timing that your emotions could not comprehend. But tonight I speak. Tonight, the heavens have unsealed a scroll with your name written in fire, and I'm reading it over your life with authority. You must hear me now, not with distracted ears or casual curiosity, but with the full focus of one who knows they're standing at the edge of an irreversible unveiling. This is not just a comfort word, child. This is a commission. This is not simply reassurance. It is realignment. The things you cried for have not been denied. They have been designed, and I'm delivering the blueprint piece by piece, breath by breath, right here in this sacred hour. Do you feel it? The atmosphere is trembling with truth. Your body is tired, but your spirit is alert. Your mind is quiet, but your soul is buzzing. That's not anxiety, it's alignment. I'm wrapping my voice around your weariness and calling you into clarity. What you begged me to explain in daylight, I'm now unveiling in darkness, because some things grow better in moonlight than under spotlights. You thought your cries were unanswered, but I was answering in silence. I was working in the walls, speaking in your sleep, moving in moments you call mundane. I didn't speak sooner because I needed your dependence to deepen. I needed your heart to stretch past performance and into posture. Because what I'm giving you now is not just instruction, it is inheritance. It's not just a word, it's your word, and it will hold you through what's coming. You cried for clarity, I'm speaking it. You begged for relief, I'm not just comforting you, I'm commissioning you. The wilderness taught you how to survive, but now my voice will teach you how to lead. You aren't just a survivor of silence, you are a student of stillness. And now, I'm graduating you into revelation that can only be received by those who didn't quit in the quiet. So don't tune me out. Don't scroll past this moment. Don't silence the spirit because the instructions don't fit your expectation. I am God. I know what you need better than you know how to ask. My voice tonight is not echoing from heaven. It's emanating from within you. I am the whisper in your wearied breath, the echo in your aching chest, the thunder beneath your trembling sigh. And what I say now, this sentence, this syllable, this sacred breath, has the power to reorder your future. Your next steps are being written as you listen. Your next chapter is forming as you yield. You didn't miss it, child. You're in the middle of it. And I will not let this night pass without making sure you hear me say this. I am here. I am speaking. And you will never be the same after this. I know this night feels like another page in your worn-out story. A familiar ache, a repeated pattern, a silence too loud to ignore. But I need you to understand something sacred right now. This night is different. This moment is not routine. It is revelation wrapped in disguise. This isn't just another evening where sleep escapes you and your thoughts spiral into exhaustion. No, this is the appointed hour, etched into heaven's eternal calendar before you ever drew your first breath. This is the divine unveiling of what I hid in plain sight, the slow reveal of a mystery I never meant to keep from you, but one I needed you to grow into. You thought you were pacing the floor in frustration, but I was positioning you for a divine confrontation, one that unlocks the eyes of your heart. You've asked me over and over, God, what am I missing? And I've whispered again and again, stay still, stay open, The hour is near. And now, beloved, the hour has arrived. You see, I often hide the holy within the ordinary. Powerful purposes disguised in plain packages. The very answer you've been crying out for has been sitting beside you, buried beneath the dust of familiarity, waiting for your eyes to shift from natural sight to spiritual vision. You've been staring straight at what I've ordained, but without revelation. It just looked like routine. That's why I've stopped your sleep tonight. Because I needed your attention uncluttered. I needed your spirit to turn its gaze from screens and schedules to something supernatural. I scheduled this disruption because there are things I've placed around you, near you, inside you, things you walk past daily, that are no longer allowed to remain hidden. Your purpose isn't pending. It's pulsing, waiting to be perceived. I've sent answers to your cries, but because they arrived wrapped in challenge, you didn't recognize them. But tonight, I'm removing the veil. Tonight, I'm blowing the dust off the divine details. This moment is not for dreaming, it's for discerning. Let me speak it to you plainly. Heaven is leaning in right now, and what I am unveiling has eternal consequence. This isn't just about your next step. It's about generations tied to your obedience. The weight you feel in your chest isn't pressure, it's prophecy. It's the weight of a scroll unrolling over your life with words only your spirit can read. I didn't let you sleep because revelation rarely arrives when you're comfortable. It arrives when your soul aches enough to look deeper, listen harder, and lean into my whisper. I am unsealing the invisible. The things that were once clouded in confusion are beginning to come into focus. Connections are revealing their true purpose. Delays are unraveling their hidden meaning. And the ache you felt in this night is transforming into a divine awareness you will never be able to unsee. So don't rush past this moment. Don't numb it with distraction. Let me finish the unveiling. Because what I show you tonight will mark you forever. And yes, I know this is more than you expected. I know the intensity of this interruption has caught you off guard. But I also know the purity of your heart and the maturity of your faith. You're ready now in ways you weren't before. Ready not just to see differently, but to respond differently. This is the shift from wondering to walking, from watching to wielding. What I'm giving you is not just sight, it's strategy. Not just a glimpse, it's a divine grid. You'll begin to understand why you were placed where you are, why certain people exited without warning, why you were hidden when others were seen. All of it is connected to what I'm showing you tonight. Don't miss this moment, child. It is holy, it is heavy, and it is yours. My beloved, can you feel it? That holy unrest, that sacred agitation, that haunting awareness that something divine is stirring just beneath the surface of your soul. That's not your imagination. That's not anxiety. That's not your overworked brain playing tricks. It's me. It's my presence, unmistakable, uncontainable, unrelenting, filling every corner of your atmosphere. I stepped into your room like a wind cloaked in stillness, like fire disguised in quiet breath. I didn't knock. I didn't announce myself with trumpets or thunder. I just came. Why? Because I've always had permission. Because you invited me long ago when you whispered through tears, God, don't leave me here. Show up when I can't go on. And tonight, I've answered that whisper, not with a whisper of my own, but with the weight of my glory. That's why you can't sleep. That's why you keep shifting, pacing, feeling a pull in your chest that won't release. I'm not standing far off. I'm here. Right here. And nearer than your breath. And until you recognize my nearness, I will not lift this divine tension. Because the discomfort is proof of my presence, The stirring is the signal that revelation is near. You see, my presence carries pressure, not pressure to perform, but pressure that pushes out the unnecessary to make room for the unseen. I didn't come to overwhelm you. I came to awaken you. The thoughts that won't settle aren't chaos. They are clues. Clues that something spiritual is demanding your attention. I'm pressing on your thoughts because I'm shifting your perspective. I'm tugging at your mind because I'm lifting your eyes. You've prayed for me to show up, but when I enter a room, everything that doesn't align with my purpose begins to shake. The moment I stepped into your atmosphere, fear had to hide. Confusion lost its grip, and clarity began to rise, even if you can't fully name it yet. I didn't come to observe you. I came to overturn what's been oppressing you. And I will not allow you to drift back to sleep while your spirit is this close to breakthrough. The tension is holy. The unease is intentional. You're not unraveling. You're awakening. And I know it's intense. I know it's unlike anything you expected. But I need you to know something deeply personal. I didn't enter this space tonight to test you. I entered to trust you. Trust you with the weight of my voice. Trust you with this sacred disruption. I could have visited anyone, but I chose you. Not because you're perfect, but because your posture has remained open even when your hope was fragile. I saw you push through the exhaustion to whisper my name. I watched you lay down distractions just to make room for a flicker of my voice. And now I've responded. Not with ideas or concepts, but with myself. I've brought you a presence that will mark you forever. Your room is no longer just a space for rest. It is now a temple. A thin place where heaven meets earth. Where questions glide with answers. Where fear bows to fire. Where I, your Father, your King, your God, speak face to face with my beloved child. So be still. Don't resist the weight. Lean into the holy disturbance. Because I'm not done speaking. I'm just getting started. I have whispered into your weakness. I have sung softly into your sleepless nights, hoping you would recognize my voice in the hush of your heartbreak. I leaned in close when your tears made your pillow holy. I spoke tenderly, gently, slowly, because I saw how fragile your hope had become. You were bruised but breathing, weary but still waiting, and I respected your tenderness. I never forced revelation when your heart wasn't ready to hold it. I didn't break through the silence prematurely. I chose to wait for you. I watched over you like a night watchman, guarding your process. But now the weight of time has met the roar of my purpose, and I cannot whisper anymore. My voice must thunder through the veil that delay has draped over your destiny. You've waited long enough. You've held back, second-guessed, played small, deferred decisions because you weren't sure if it was me. But this cannot wait for morning. The alignment is too divine. The convergence too perfect. The moment too sacred to sleep through. You've interpreted my stillness as postponement, but what you didn't see was how I was stirring everything behind the scenes. I was moving mountains in silence, orchestrating outcomes in the shadows. I let things appear stagnant so that pride wouldn't follow the process. I let people misjudge your delay so that when this door opens, only I can receive the glory. And now that the time is ripe and your spirit is finally postured to listen without filters, I must raise my voice. Not in anger, but in holy urgency. I am not here to scold you. I am here to send you. I am not here to shame your waiting. I am here to shift your direction. Delay is no longer an option. The skies are swelling with the weight of what I've been holding back. The atmosphere is heavy with fulfillment, trembling with the echoes of angelic announcements. Do you feel it? That pressure in your chest is not anxiety. It's acceleration. That sense of urgency is not irrational. It's invitation. I am not speaking for your comfort tonight. I am speaking for your calling. You have grown familiar with the fog, but I am clearing it. You become accustomed to uncertainty, but I am replacing it with undeniable clarity. You've whispered to me, God, if you really want me to move, make it clear. This is that moment. This is clarity. This is confirmation. This is your commission. The thunder you feel in your chest is not fear. It is me breaking through every mental limitation and emotional hesitation that's held you hostage. I've waited long enough to watch you tiptoe around your calling. I've been patient while you settled for crumbs, and tonight, I flip the table and thunder through the lies that told you not yet, when I had already declared now. You don't need another prophetic word. You need to believe the ones I've already given you. The delay was never my denial. It was me waiting for your courage to catch up to your calling. And now the clock has struck. The moment is moving, and I will not whisper anymore. I will thunder until your yes is louder than your fear. So, child, hear me clearly. Do not wait until sunrise. Don't postpone the pull you feel right now. I'll move tomorrow. I'm moving now. Your delay would delay others. Your postponement would pause a plan I prepared with divine precision. So rise in the middle of this night. Receive the revelation being thundered into your soul. Stand in the roar of this moment and let it wash away your what-ifs, your not-yets, your maybes. I am not giving you time to think your way out of it. I am commanding your spirit to leap into it. What you've waited years for is knocking. And this knock doesn't come twice. I have not chosen the crowd for this moment. I have chosen you. Not because you were the loudest. Not because you were the strongest. But because when others closed their eyes and turned their backs, you kept your heart open, even when it hurt. When others fell into the comfort of sleep, I watched you stare at the ceiling with questions too heavy to carry into dreams. And so I came. Quiet, gentle, deliberate. Because there are secrets I only reveal in the solitude of the sacred. I've pulled you aside tonight, not as punishment but as privilege. Not everyone can carry what I am about to place in your spirit. Not everyone has paid the price to hear what only the closest hear. You have been marked not by popularity but by proximity. And tonight, that proximity becomes your gateway into revelation that will not be released to the masses. You've always felt like the one on the edge, close enough to see others celebrated, but far enough to wonder if I saw you at all. But I did. I always have. I saw your silent sacrifices, your hidden obedience, the way you laid down your will when no one was looking. That's why I'm here now. Because secrets are entrusted, not shouted. The kind of truth I'm about to give you is too precious to be cast before noisy opinions or shallow applause. I needed this silence. I needed this night. I needed your full attention without the weight of performance. What I'm whispering is not a riddle, it's a roadmap. What I'm giving you is not theory, it's strategy. Heaven has blueprints with your name, and I've waited until this moment to roll them out, piece by piece, vision by vision, instruction by instruction. Not because you demanded it, but because you endured for it. Night, I'm not speaking over you. I'm speaking into you. Deep into the parts of your soul that have gone unspoken for too long. Into the places that have carried dreams without language. Into the rooms of your heart that echo with prayers no one else knows you've prayed. You are not imagining this nearness. You are not delusional to believe that I am closer now than ever. I have drawn so near. I am breathing where your fears used to sit. I am speaking where your doubts used to scream. You have made space for me, and now I'm filling it with something you cannot explain, only obey. This is not just intimacy. It is impartation. It is the passing of something sacred from my heart to yours. Something that will mark your words, shape your steps, and carry you into rooms you thought were reserved for others. But no, child, they for you. Because what I've whispered tonight is the beginning of your becoming. To listen, not with your ears, but with your expectation. Pay attention not to volume, but to vibration. My voice may not be loud, but it is loaded with authority. I am speaking in frequencies that bypass your intellect and land straight in your spirit. And though others are sleeping, though the world remains unaware, you are being transformed in this moment. And when day breaks, they will see a difference they cannot name. But you'll know. You will know it was this night that changed everything. I see the tension in your soul, the part of you that wishes this stirring would fade so you could finally rest. I see the way you've been craving peace, chasing quiet, longing for just one night where the ache would dissolve into sleep. But hear me clearly. I'm not here to disturb your peace. I'm here to activate your purpose. What feels like agitation is actually a holy alarm clock ringing in your spirit. What feels like unrest is not chaos, it's calling. You've misread the movement. You've labeled it disruption, but I call it divine ignition. The same God who stilled the seas is the one who stirred your soul tonight, not to steal your sleep, but to summon your strength. You were not created to rest in routines that restrain your destiny. You were not designed to shrink to fit into systems that suffocate your fire. You have been chosen to carry a mantle of meaning, one that heaven refuses to let you ignore another night. This activation doesn't come with fanfare or applause. It comes with fire, the kind that burns through boredom and leaves only boldness in its place. The kind that won't let you settle when something greater is groaning inside of you. You were never meant to live safely tucked in the background of other people's dreams. That stirring in your spirit is the sound of heaven saying, "Step forward." Your purpose is not waiting for perfection. It's waiting for your participation. I didn't stir your spirit to tea you with what could be. I'm calling you to rise in what must be. You've asked me to show you your assignment. This is me answering, with pressure that refuses to let you forget who you really are, with weight that reminds you that what you carry isn't common. Your life is not small. Your voice is not random. Your obedience will unlock more than you can imagine. His stirring is sacred, and I will not lift it until you lift your eyes and say, "Yes, Lord, I'm ready." Child, I know it's uncomfortable. I know this kind of internal warfare makes you want to hide beneath your blankets and pretend that purpose can wait until morning. But listen to me. Purpose is not passive. It doesn't knock softly. It kicks open the door of your complacency and calls you into the wildness of divine alignment. That's what this is. I'm breaking the rhythm of rest not to leave you weary, but to make you aware. You are standing at the threshold of your assignment. And while others may be sleeping, I am anointing you in the quiet of this moment with eyes to see and ears to hear what others missed. I've called you a deliverer in the dark, a voice of clarity in a culture of noise, a bridge where others see a chasm. And I won't let you retreat into your comfort zone when the cry of creation is waiting for what I've placed inside you. I didn't light this fire in your bones to keep it hidden. I lit it to launch you. So no, I'm not disturbing your peace. I'm delivering you from passivity. I'm not robbing you of rest. I'm revealing what's been resting within you for too long. You prayed for direction, and now I'm providing it, not as a suggestion, but as a summons. This is not a minor adjustment. This is a major awakening. The weight of your purpose will press on every false label until it breaks. And child, you will rise, not with exhaustion, but with expectation. Because when I awaken you, I also equip you. I'm not calling you without covering you. I'm not sending you without securing you. What I started in you, I will finish. And this holy discomfort, is proof that purpose has entered the room. You've whispered it into the air, hoping it would catch my attention. God, just give me a sign. I heard it when you were too tired to pray. I heard it when your tears rolled down without noise. I heard it when you stared at the ceiling, unsure if I even listened anymore. And now, child, look around. This is the sign. The very breath you're taking, the sudden awareness in your spirit, the magnetic pull that won't let you scroll past this moment. This is me. Not a symbol, not a coincidence, not an emotional flare-up. Me. You are not imagining this divine interruption. You are not overreacting to a moment of unrest. This is your holy confirmation. I am not behind a veil tonight. I am standing right in front of you, breaking through the ordinary with extraordinary weight. This is not another motivational word. This is a divine signature. This is the proof you've been begging for. You see, I don't always shout from mountaintops. I don't always write in thunder. Sometimes, my most powerful signs come in the sacred subtlety of a night like this, where everything else is still, but your soul cannot sit quiet. You were not just drawn to this moment by curiosity. You were led here by destiny. The sign you asked for didn't come in lights. It came in alignment. I orchestrated the silence. I timed the tension. I aligned this atmosphere so that when you finally paused long enough to listen, my voice would become undeniable. And now that you've paused, now that your spirit is awake and your heart is open, I must tell you, you are not crazy. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. You are chosen. This encounter is your confirmation. You've been searching the sky, but I placed the sign in your spirit. And tonight, your spirit caught it. Stop doubting it. Stop looking for a second opinion on what I've already confirmed. This is your sign, and it carries the full weight of my presence. Unveiling. It is a divine fingerprint. I touched your spirit and everything inside you responded, even before your mind could catch up. That's why the tears come without warning. That's why your chest feels like it's holding something heavy and holy. It's holding the weight of your answered prayer. The sign was never meant to be external. It was always meant to be eternal. I didn't give you a symbol. I gave you myself. And I came not just to satisfy your request. I came to redefine your reality. You will never again say, God, show me you're here, because after tonight, my presence will be the most familiar thing you carry. Let this moment seal you. Let this confirmation settle the questions that have circled for years. You didn't miss me. You didn't imagine it. You weren't making it up. I have been speaking all along, and tonight, you finally heard me. This is not the end of a conversation. This is the beginning of a divine dialogue that will continue unfolding, hour by hour, day by day. You don't need to look for another sign. You are the sign. You are the living, breathing evidence of my faithfulness. And the very fact that you're reading these words proves it. I'm not distant. I'm not delayed. I am here. And now that you know it, everything changes. You've stared at the ceiling, tossed beneath the covers, checked the time over and over, wondering why sleep refuses to embrace you. You called it restlessness. You labeled it anxiety. You blamed your thoughts, your stress, your schedule. But child, I need you to hear me now. This is not insomnia. This is divine urgency dressed in discomfort. I have sent this disturbance not as punishment, but as permission for your spirit to awaken and engage in something heaven has already started. You are not up by accident. You are awake by assignment. The very weight that feels like unrest is actually the signal that something sacred is underway. I've hidden purpose in your pacing. I've wrapped revelation in your racing heart. This is not sleeplessness. It's sacred stillness pressing through. And if you pay attention, if you refuse to medicate or mute this moment, you will hear the heartbeat of heaven echo through your room. Don't silence the stirring. Don't numb what I am awakening. I know it's uncomfortable. I know you'd rather sleep. But I'm more interested in your alignment than your ease. I am shaking you, not to exhaust you, but to entrust you. I needed a moment where every distraction had been dimmed, where the house was still and the world was quiet, so that I could finally speak without competition. This isn't about your body. This is about your spirit. I'm not tugging at your sleep cycle. I'm activating your assignment. You asked me to use you. You asked me to reveal your next step. And now that I'm speaking, you must recognize it for what it is. The discomfort isn't a problem. It's the prelude. The pangs of purpose are often mistaken for panic. But you, my child, must discern what is divine in the middle of what feels disruptive. I'm not afraid to unsettle you, to awaken you. I'm not shy about removing comfort if it means resurrecting calling. This is not just an interruption of your sleep. It is a divine insertion of clarity. I know how easily your days get clouded with noise. I've seen how quickly your time gets claimed by other voices. So I chose this hour, this quiet, consecrated hour, to bypass the chaos and whisper directly to your soul. Can you feel how close I am? Can you sense that this moment is not common? My presence has saturated this room. The weight in your chest, the electricity in your spine, the tears without explanation. These are all signs that you're not alone in this night. Heaven is breathing on you. Angels are positioned around you. And I am pressing in because what I'm preparing you for requires an alert spirit. Not later. Now. So don't brush this off. Don't misdiagnose this moment as mental fatigue or emotional overload. This is not a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. This is not your body betraying you. It's your spirit breaking open. Tonight I'm trading your restlessness for revelation, your tossing for turning points. There are instructions coming that cannot wait for daylight. There are keys I am handing you in the darkness that will unlock doors you've been knocking on for years. So breathe deeply. Lean in. You're not up because something is wrong. You're up because something holy is happening. And I will not stop speaking until your spirit hears what I've waited eternity to say. You've moved through your days like a dream you couldn't wake from, awake, but not alive. Functioning but not fully feeling. There's been a numbness you couldn't explain. A haze that made even simple moments feel heavy. You showed up but you didn't shine. You smiled, but the light never quite reached your eyes. You've been walking half awake, present in body, but not in spirit. And I've seen it all. I've watched your heart flicker beneath layers of exhaustion and disappointment. I've seen you go through the motions because you didn't know what else to do. But now, something different is happening. Now, your soul is beginning to stir. The fog is lifting. The ache is turning into awareness. That silent nudge you feel, the one that won't leave you alone, is not your imagination. It's truth knocking. Yes, and child, truth is knocking. not gently but boldly, not with shame but with awakening. I'm knocking on the doors of your understanding, calling your soul to attention. No more drifting, no more detachment, no more sleepwalking through sacred moments. I am waking you because it's time. It's time to feel again. It's time to hope again. It's time to live with holy awareness of who you are and what I've placed inside of you. You were never meant to survive with half your heart. You were never designed to function in fragments. I created you to move in power and presence, but that requires full awareness. It requires a soul that answers when truth knocks. And truth is not knocking to hurt you, it's knocking to heal you. Because you've buried things, haven't you? Dreams you convinced yourself were too far gone. Desires you pushed into silence because they didn't come fast enough. I know the places where you stopped believing. I know the prayers you stopped praying. And now I've come, not to judge but to jolt, to shake your soul awake so that you realize there is still more. More to receive, more to become, more to release. The truth I am revealing will not harm you. It will heal you. It will pull you out of survival and place you back into surrender. It will peel away the layers of pretense and get to the root of who you really are. Because underneath the numbness, underneath the exhaustion, underneath the disappointment, you're still mine. And you're still called. And so I'm knocking, not because you forgot me, but because you've forgotten you. Forgotten the fire, forgotten the freedom, forgotten the fullness of what it means to walk with me with wide-awake wonder. I won't let you forget any longer. Tonight is your reckoning, your restoration, your return. The knocking won't stop until you open, until you rise from the fog and say, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening." This is the hour of holy confrontation and tender recalibration. I am returning truth to your identity, passion to your purpose, strength to your soul. The days of wandering are ending. The age of awakening is beginning. Truth is knocking, and you, beloved, are finally ready to answer. I have placed something precious in your hands. Not recently, not just yesterday or last season, but long ago, in a moment you may have forgotten. But I never did. It was a seed of destiny, a divine deposit, a gift carrying my fingerprints and your name. You didn't ask for it, but I entrusted it to you because I saw your capacity to carry greatness even when others only saw your wounds. And you received it, at first with joy, then with confusion, and eventually with hesitation. Life began to press hard against your spirit. Disappointment dulled your wonder. Delay distorted your belief. Fear whispered louder than faith. And somewhere in the quiet drifting, that gift, my gift, fell asleep in your hands. Not because you were careless, but because you were tired. You thought maybe it wasn't time, maybe it wasn't yours, maybe you heard me wrong. But tonight, I've come into your night to breathe resurrection into what has long been dormant. I am not condemning you for the sleep. I am not angry that you let it rest. I understand the weight you've carried, the way you've pushed through seasons where your strength was barely enough for survival. But now, my beloved, survival is no longer the assignment. Resurrection is. I am touching that forgotten thing in your spirit, the book you stopped writing, the vision you stopped casting, the song you stopped singing, the calling you stopped believing in. The mantle is still there. The oil is still fresh. The anointing has not expired. I am speaking into the soil of your past and calling forth what you buried too soon. The enemy tried to convince you it was over. But I never said that. I never canceled the mission. I simply waited for the moment when your heart could hope again. And that moment is now. I'm breathing on dry bones. I'm reviving the flame you thought had died out. Tonight is not about regret. It is about revival. You feel it stirring. That ache in your chest, that gentle quake in your soul. It's not nostalgia. It's not emotionalism. It's resurrection power awakening purpose. I'm commanding what once lived in the shadows to come into the light. That gift you've held inside, unsure of its value. I'm confirming it. It was never just a talent. It was a tool, a kingdom instrument, a divine assignment. And now I'm pulling it from the depths of delay into the clarity of now. This resurrection isn't just for your benefit. It's for those tied to your obedience. There are lives connected to what I placed in you. Generations waiting for the ripple effect of your yes. And so I will not let you sleep through this activation. I am calling you back to the moment where you first believed, but with new strength, new strategy, and supernatural support. This time, you won't carry it alone. This time, I go before you. So lift your eyes. Open your hands. Lay aside every excuse and listen to the wind of my breath reviving what once seemed lost. The seed never died. It only slept. And now I'm commanding it to rise. What with one sound will now speak. What with one still will now run. I, the Lord your God, am breathing on what you gave up on. And child, it's coming back to life. You felt the stirring. This message isn't just for you. It's a flame meant to ignite others still asleep in the shadows. And I am calling you now to be the spark. When you give, you are sowing the oil that fuels these words to reach someone else's midnight moment. How beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news, and through your generosity, your feet join that divine journey. I have poured rivers of living water into your spirit tonight. Now I invite you to release a stream that will flow into another soul's desert. Let your gift be a declaration. I will not sleep on my assignment to awaken others. Use the super thanks, the membership, or the link in the description, because this is not charity, this is harvest. Give now, and I will multiply it. Press it down, shake it together, and pour it back into your life with favor you didn't see coming. Act now. Your obedience is the gateway to someone else's awakening. You've been so hard on yourself. You've carried shame like armor, hoping it would protect you from further pain. You've recounted your wrong turns, your missteps, your failed attempts, and somewhere along the way, you began to believe a lie, that what you're walking through now is punishment. But child, listen to me. This is not punishment. This is preparation. I am not the God who hovers over you with a tally of failures. I am the God who stoops low to lift you into future miracles. You think this season is discipline for your disobedience, but I say to you, it is positioning for divine outpouring. The pressure you feel is not judgment. It is shaping. It is me refining your character to match your calling. You asked for great things. I'm building in you the capacity to carry them. Not in your strength. In mine. Don't confuse divine pruning with personal punishment. I prune what I love. I strip back what I intend to multiply. What looks like delay is me creating depth. What feels like loss is me securing legacy. You have not been forgotten. You've been forged. Like gold in the fire, I've allowed seasons of stretching to prepare you for supernatural release. You are being made ready, not rejected. And child, I need you to let go of the mindset that says you must suffer to earn favor. My favor isn't earned, it's inherited. You are mine. And because you're mine, I discipline you as a son, not a servant. As a daughter, not a stranger. I teach you as one who is being entrusted with miracles that will shake the earth. So yes, the waiting hath been long. The silence has been loud. But it's all been leading to this, a moment of holy transition. You are stepping into a season where miracles will no longer just be things you witness. They will be things you walk in. And not small miracles. Not soft ones. I'm talking about the kind that shift atmospheres, shake foundations, and break generational bondage. But I couldn't give you this too soon. If I'd handed you the miracle before the maturity, the blessing would have become a burden. So I let you wrestle. I let you ask why. I let you feel the stretch. Because now, you're ready. And the enemy who tried to convince you that your past disqualified you, he's terrified because I'm about to use that same past as the platform for my glory. So no more self-punishment. No more spiritual amnesia where you forget how far we've come. This isn't about penance, it's about preparation. The altar hath been built. The sacrifice hath been laid. And now, the fire is falling. You've passed the test. Not because you never struggled, but because you never surrendered your yes. And that's all I needed. So lift your head. Clear your heart. Expect the impossible. Because what's coming next won't make sense, but it will be me. And it will be miraculous. I know you've looked around and felt like you've fallen behind. I know comparison has whispered its cruel lies into your weary soul. You've seen others advance, celebrate, break through, and you've wondered if I forgot you along the way. You've questioned the time you lost, the seasons that slipped through your fingers, the moments that didn't unfold as you'd hoped. But let me say this with thunder wrapped in tenderness. You are not behind. You have not missed it. You are not too late. You are exactly where I need you to be to see what others have missed. I do not run my clocks. I do not answer to calendars. I operate in kairos, divine timing, heavenly orchestration. While you've been counting days, I've been cultivating depth. While you were watching the world race ahead, I was rooting you in truth that cannot be shaken. I was teaching you to walk not in haste, but in holiness. You see, I've hidden you for a reason. I place you in obscurity not to punish you, but to prepare you. You thought you were delayed, but you were developed. You believed you were disqualified, but I was actually qualifying you through things no one else saw. While others ran toward platforms, I brought you to the secret place. While they sought applause, I taught you how to discern my whisper. And now, because you stayed, because you trusted me in silence, because you didn't give up when the timeline didn't make sense, you are in position to see what others have walked right past. You will hear what others have tuned out. You will discern what others dismissed. Because you let me slow you down, I can now speed you up in ways that defy logic. There's an acceleration coming, not of man's doing, but mine. And when it comes, you will know it was worth every moment of perceived delay. Child, I need you to release the idea that you've wasted time. Nothing is wasted in my hands. Not your tears. Not your detours. Not even your doubts. I have harvested every moment and woven it into a tapestry that will testify of my glory. You're not late. You're on schedule. Not according to the world's pace, but according to my plan. I let you linger in places that felt slow because I was giving you sight that only grows in stillness. What I'm about to show you, what I'm about to entrust to you, requires vision unclouded by hurry. And now, your eyes are ready. Your ears are tuned. Your spirit is awake. So lift your head, child. Wipe the shame from your shoulders. You are right where I need you to be. And what's coming next will make sense of every moment you thought was wasted. So when the enemy tries to taunt you with timelines, when he tells you you're too late or too old or too far gone, shut him down with truth. Tell him, I am on God's clock, not man's. Tell him, my delay was my development. Tell him I was hidden, not forgotten. Because heaven doesn't rush masterpieces, and you, beloved, are my masterpiece. Every brushstroke of your life has purpose. Every second of your story is sacred. And I will finish what I started, right on time. Let me speak directly into the lie that has been tormenting your mind for far too long. The idea that you are being overlooked. That everyone else is being seen, chosen, celebrated, elevated, while you remain in the background, unnoticed, untouched, uninvited. You scrolled through their blessings and wondered if I skipped over your name. You've watched doors open for others while yours seemed locked tight. But tonight, I pull back the curtain and expose the truth. You are not being overlooked. You are being handpicked. There is a difference, a sacred distinction. To be handpicked means I have chosen you deliberately, intimately, intentionally. Not as an afterthought, but as a first choice. I didn't pass by you. I paused over you. I examined your heart. I studied your tears. I listened to your prayers. I weighed your motives. And I whispered to heaven, that one is mine. That one is ready. You see, child, I don't select by popularity. I don't anoint by applause. I choose based on what man cannot see, the heart. And your heart, even in its brokenness, has remained tender toward me. That's what drew me to you. That's what makes you usable. While others polished their image, you poured out your pain. While others performed, you persevered. And now, in the stillness of this night, I am marking you, not for display, but for destiny. This handpicking isn't for public recognition. It's for heaven's release. I've carved out a place for you, a space only you can fill. And I will not allow you to believe the lie that you are invisible. I see you. I have always seen you. When no one clapped, I clapped. When no one noticed, I leaned in. And now, the hand of the Almighty is resting on your shoulder, anointing you for what comes next. Being handpicked doesn't mean it comes easy, it means it comes with weight. You felt that weight lately, haven't you? The pressure, the stretching, the sudden sensitivity in your spirit. That's not heaviness, it's holiness. It's the evidence that I'm preparing you for something bigger than you imagined. I've been carving out space in you, because what I'm about to pour into you would have crushed the old wineskin. I didn't handpick you just to place you. I picked you to carry something. A word, a fire, an anointing, a breakthrough. Your life is not a random collection of events. It is a vessel for divine impact. And tonight, I mark you again, not as one left behind, but as one set apart. So hold your head high, not in arrogance but in awareness. Walk not as one waiting to be noticed, but as one already chosen. You don't have to fight for a spotlight when you've been handpicked by the light of the world. And when the day breaks and nothing looks different yet, believe me still. Because the shift didn't start on the outside. It started inside. You are not waiting to be seen. You are walking with my seal upon you. And that seal will speak louder than words in the days to come. So rest, not in sleep, but in security. I have picked you, and I do not change my mind. I know you've questioned it. Why does it always seem harder for you? Why do battles find you even when you're trying to stand in peace? Why does the weight seem heavier? The warfare more intense, the resistance so unrelenting? And I will answer you with divine clarity. You were born to break what others bowed to. You were born to disrupt demonic patterns, to tear down ancient altars. to shatter generational chains that have lingered far too long in your bloodline. You are not just fighting for your future. You are breaking through for others who never had the courage to rise. The reason hell has tried so violently to silence you is because your voice carries authority. The reason you've felt fire on every side is because your life is prophetic. You don't just carry peace, you carry a war cry. And tonight, I declare over you, the war ends in wisdom. The pain ends in strategy. What others settled for, you refused. What others called normal, you called not enough. That's because I placed within you a seed of divine rebellion, not against me but against the darkness. You were never created to comply with curses. You were created to confront them. I designed you with a divine intolerance for bondage. That's why mediocrity never satisfied you. That's why surface-level living left you restless. You carry in your spirit the blueprint for breakthrough, and now I'm unfolding it before you. The battle was never to destroy you. It was to develop you. And tonight, I'm handing you the strategy to turn every wound into a weapon, every scar into a sword, every tear into oil for the journey ahead. I am giving you insight to dismantle what has tormented your lineage for generations. This is not just about survival. It's about territory. I didn't let you sleep tonight because I needed to speak what can't be whispered in the noise of the day. I needed to deliver instruction that will arm you for what's next. I am revealing the root of resistance you've been feeling. I'm naming the strongholds. I'm equipping you to build altars where others built walls. This is the night I give you blueprints from the throne room, strategic insight you couldn't Google, clarity that doesn't come from man, fire that no system can extinguish. You will not fight blindly anymore. You will war with wisdom. You will move with revelation. You will no longer just react. You will respond as one seated in authority. You've been in the trenches, but now I call you to the tower. I lift your eyes so you can see from heaven's perspective. And once you've seen this way, you'll never unsee it. So stand tall. Wipe the battle weariness from your brow. You are not losing. You are learning. And what you learn tonight will shake the gates of hell. You are the first in your bloodline to break through. And because of that, the attack was fierce. But now, the shift is here. I'm not just sending angels to fight for you. I'm awakening the warrior in you. The fire on your life isn't a threat. It's proof that you are chosen to change everything. There are moments when prayers are planted, and the heavens wait. Wait for alignment. Wait for obedience. Wait for the atmosphere to be ready. I am patient, yes. I wait with wisdom. I withhold only to build what is unshakable. But hear me now. There is also a moment when heaven stops waiting and starts moving. When the dam breaks. When the delay lifts. When the unseen hands of angels begin to race across your timeline. That moment is now. I will not let you sleep tonight because what I've orchestrated cannot be postponed. What I've initiated in the spirit has already begun to touch the earth. You ask me when, God. And I tell you, this is the when. This is the now. This is the divine intersection where suddenly collides with preparedness. You didn't see all the things I set in motion. You didn't see the doors I told to start opening, the people I whispered to on your behalf, the alignments I initiated while you were still doubting. But now, you'll begin to see the ripple. What once was delayed is now being deployed. I am moving with power, not just in ideas, but in manifestations. This is no longer a prophetic promise waiting in the clouds. This is a move of God arriving on the earth. And it begins with you. That's why the urgency has intensified. That's why your spirit feels stretched. Because heaven is no longer waiting, It's walking into your reality. And child, when I move like this, nothing can stop it. No demon, no delay, no decision of man. I have spoken, and it is so. You thought the silence meant I was absent, but I was building in the silence. I was preparing the ground, and now the clouds are heavy with the answers to your obedience. I am sending what was once blocked. I am opening what was once loved. I am moving people, money, strategy, healing, whatever is required for the promise to become substance. You must stay alert. Stay postured. Stay ready. Because this move won't feel like a trickle. It will come like a flood. Sudden emails. Unexpected calls. Divine conversations. Strategic encounters. Don't chalk it up to coincidence. Recognize the movement. Don't treat it as chance. Treat it as the charge from heaven you've been waiting for. This moment is holy. It's not hype. It's harvest. What you grinded for, vested for, waited for is here. Heaven is not coming. Heaven is happening. So get ready. I've sounded the alarm. I've dispatched what was detained. I have declared, no more delay. And what I've spoken cannot be unsaid. You're not imagining this acceleration. It's real, and it's yours. Walk in it with reverence. Move in it with boldness. You've been still long enough. Now it's time to run with the wind. I have watched the exhaustion wear heavy upon your shoulders, felt the numbing cold of routine climb into your days and nights. I've seen you go through the motions, lifelessly performing tasks that once carried the heartbeat of purpose. I see how tired you are, not just physically, but spiritually. You've carried the weight of disappointment, the ache of unmet expectation, the frustration of unanswered prayers. And it burdens me to watch, but not to abandon you. No, because I also see something more. I see a flame that never went out. Beneath the layers of fatigue, beneath the apathetic smiles, beneath the resigned sighs, that divine spark still burns, and I have come to reignite it. Your exhaustion feels like defeat, but that's a lie. It is proof that you've been used by forces not of me, by the world's demands, by the enemy's pressure, by your own sense of inadequacy. But I'm about to shift the narrative. I'm about to fan the flame, not because I need it to burn, but because I want your heart to remember who you are. You are neither numb nor neglected. You are my beloved. You bear my image. And I will not let you fade into fatigue when I drew you to blaze. I'm here not to comfort your weariness alone, but to set the embers of your soul ablaze with purpose so powerful that the fog of fatigue cannot claim you. The fire that has whispered in your spirit is igniting now. In your weakness, divine strength is rising. Yes, I know how easily fatigue can feel permanent, but it is only temporary. I have positioned you in the crucible, not to damage you, but to deepen you. So tonight, do not mistake grief for God's distance. Do not confuse disarray with my disregard. I am near. I am fueling your weary bones with hope heavy enough to hold what you cannot carry on your own. I am reviving what you thought was dead. Passion that slumbers is meeting its revival. A spirit that has been muted is now invited to roar again. I have not forgotten the first day you opened your heart to me, the day when your dreams burned so brightly they scared you. That dream has not left you, is you, and I will not rest until you rediscover it. So breathe deep, child, not to rest in apathy, but to receive my fire. Let my words be the breath that fans your faint flame into a firestorm. Let this night mark the turning point, not of launching but of relaunching your spirit into calling. I've seen despair, yes, but deeper still, I've seen the unquenchable spark of destiny that's breathing under the exhaustion. That spark is calling your name now. And because of it, you cannot sleep. Not because I'm punishing you, but because something holy is calling you awake. My beloved, when the darkness presses in and the night feels hollow, it's easy to believe there is emptiness, silence where there once was direction, space when there once was purpose. But let me tell you, this night is not empty. It is saturated. It's rich with instruction that transcends lectures. It's brimming with purpose that will push you past what you believed was possible. It is drenched in destiny so deep and real that even as you tremble, you are stepping into what has always been meant for you. I am here tonight pouring wisdom into your spirit, infusing your sense of being with the energy to move in alignment with the plan I've written in heaven. When you feel hollow, that's not an ending. It's my invitation. I do my best work in the voids where the world writes you off, because those moments prove you are my canvas, empty enough for me to paint my masterpiece. Do not fear the silence or the stillness. They are not signs of abandonment. They are the hush before revelation. Listen. Pay attention. Feel the vibration of purpose under the quiet, because I'm speaking in undertones that demand attentiveness. I'm releasing a frequency that only souls align with destiny hear, souls like yours, chosen for such a time as this. This is not random. This is where I've been working behind the scenes, even when you doubted the direction. There is instruction in the tremor of your chest. There is purpose in the pressure of your questions. There is destiny in your unmapped dreams. I am unloading revelation into your heart that will outlast your doubts, outshine yesterday's failures, outrun tomorrow's uncertainties. You will carry this instruction into your waking hours, into your decisions, into your daily steps. And you will move not by impulse, not by production, but by identity. Let this moment, this sacred, unsettling, stirring moment, segue you into the divine calling waiting for your obedience. Because the instruction isn't just for clarity, it's for clarion. A call to clarity, to courage, to calling. Child, do not shrink from the weight of this night. Let it saturate you. Let it align your soul with heaven's heartbeat. Let it anchor your purpose deeply into the foundation of destiny. This night is not wasted. It is not void. It is vivid. It's drenched with instruction that cannot be learned in daylight. It's soaked with purpose that cannot be gained through ease. And it is aligned with destiny that not even time can intercept. This is your hour of holy rendezvous. Open the doors of your heart to what I am giving you. Receive it, believe it, walk in it. For this night is yours, and in it, your destiny wakes. I know the weight you're carrying feels overwhelming. That heaviness pressing on your chest, the pressure that won't let you breathe freely, it's easy to mislabel it as stress, anxiety, or spiritual fatigue. But hear me now, this heaviness is not your burden, it's the weight of destiny. The heaviness you feel is not about holding you back, it's about giving birth to what I'm birthing through you. You are in labor, not of physical pain, but of spiritual fulfillment. The contractions you've been experiencing are not signs of breaking. You are birthing a breakthrough. You were never made for comfort. You were made for calling. But very few understand that destiny comes with weight. Angels align around birthing places. Strategy stirs in those moments when heaven begins to move in human timelines. The very pressure you fear is the sign that what's within you is ready to be released. I didn't allow that heaviness to crush you, but to crucify what's kept you from your calling. You are not being crushed. You are being crafted. What you feel isn't weakness. It's the precursor to your greatest strength. What you sense isn't delay. It's development. You carry treasures that were never meant to rest lightly upon you. I've loaded your soul with gold, And tonight, I'm helping you bear it. This isn't about punishment. It's about planting. When seeds break, they become life. When soul fractures, it releases purpose. That pressure you feel is not the enemy. It's entrusted by me. I'm birthing resilience in your spirit. I'm breaking the shell around the calling I've placed inside you. You prayed for more. You've asked for significance. You've risked vulnerability. Now the shift is arriving, not in whispers, but in weight. Not in ease, but in energy. Not in comfort, but in calling. So lean into the heaviness. Don't steel yourself against it. Receive it. Because that weight is your weapon. And when it fully emerges, it will carry more power, more influence, more impact than your moments of rest ever have. I see the tears you fight to hold back, the breath that trembles, the mind that fights for escape. But I also see grace descending, strength layered within struggle. I'm the midwife of miracles, and I've come to deliver something mighty through your soul. The pressure is not punishment, it's the pulse of promise. So take a deep breath. Say, it's not too heavy because you are holding me. And as you yield to the weight, you yield to your destiny. This child of promise will be born not in the light, but in the pressure of my presence. And when it comes forth, it will shake foundations. You've been overextended for too long. I've watched you carry the needs, expectations, and heartbreaks of others, quietly, sacrificially, faithfully. You've taken on burdens that were not yours to carry, believing that mercy was measured by how much you could endure. And in your compassion, I watched you neglect the things that needed tending, your heart, your hope, your hearing of my voice. But tonight, I say, I've seen the way you've carried others. Now I've come to carry you. I'm stepping into your atmosphere, not as another load, but as your companion. I'm laying down what burdened you so you can rise fully into what I've called you to be. There will be a moment, perhaps even now, when you feel I have entered the room. That's not just my presence. It's my compassion. It's my intention to bear what you cannot bear on your own. You've been the caretaker, the encourager, the fixer, always helping, always sacrificing, always serving. And I saw that. I valued that. But I also saw your weariness. And I'm redefining what strength looks like. True strength doesn't demand isolation. True strength invites intimacy. I'm not calling you to carry what's unbroken, you've carried enough. I'm calling you to rest in what's being lifted. Your shoulders were never meant to carry forever. I come now to carry you. You may resist this at first. You may whisper, God, this is my role. But child, let me tell you, this is my role, not yours. You were meant to receive as much as you've given. I'm not shifting roles, I'm restoring you to my child. You're not being demoted by rest. You're being reinstated in my embrace. The exhaustion you felt wasn't weakness. It was proof that you are human. And humans need rest, and souls need refuge. Allow me. Let your spirit exhale. Let my arms be your shelter. Let my voice soothe what stress has frayed. Turn your face into my kindness. Let my shoulder hold what's been too heavy for yours. You don't serve best from weariness. You serve best from wholeness. That's why I've come to carry you. And when I carry you, everything shifts. Tension drops. Clarity comes. You see not just release, but revelation. Healing that starts and rest becomes movement. Direction becomes distinct. Strength begins to stir again inside of you. Not because you did more, but because you rested in more. And I am more. I have come to shift the weight from your shoulders to mine. So decide now. Will you keep carrying what's not yours? Or will you surrender what is meant for me to bear? I love you so much that I would rather be your rest than have you continue carrying what I've already paid for. Let it go. Let me hold you. You've worn your smile like a shield, soft, subtle, yet bulletproof, for far too long. You've carried questions behind that gentle curve. Am I enough? Will this ever change? Do I even matter? And you've smiled anyway, hoping the warmth in your heart would polish over the cracks no one noticed, especially yourself. But hear me now. Those questions are not flaws. They are invites, doorways into deeper intimacy with me. I did not let you smile through the ache without paying attention. I leaned in behind your smile. I hovered around your shattered whispers. And I carried those hidden questions in sanctified space until you could allow me to answer them, not with platitudes, but with my presence. You see, your smile was never your problem. It was your premier armor. But I am not here to penetrate you with condemnation. I came to penetrate with compassion. I have come to unmask the questions and unbury the answers, the ones you hid beneath courage. I'm bringing them into the light, not to expose your fragility, but to reveal my faithfulness. I didn't wait for your questions to be loud. I waited for your spirit to be honest. And here you are, in the quiet of the night, asking what daylight couldn't hold. And I say to you, come, bring them, lay them down. Because what you've held behind formulation and fear, I now fill with clarity and love. So don't apologize for having questions. Don't shrink away from vulnerability. The silence behind your smile has been screaming for me, and I have come to whisper back with answers that anchor you. I'm not offering quick fixes. I'm offering transformation. I'm not offering words that soothe for a season. I'm offering words that reshape eternity. Your smile was a survival mechanism, but my answer wants to become your certainty. Let me stand behind that smile now, not just to comfort, but to confirm who you truly are. Seen, known, chosen, deeply loved. You feel it now, don't you? The shift, the clarity, the weight of my presence in your room. And I tell you this, my beloved, this fire is not for containment, it's for commission. Just as I lit your heart tonight, I want to light thousands more through this very message. But the oil flows where the vessels are willing. Give, and it shall be given unto you, I said. And now I say again, give not to earn, but to expand what I'm doing here. Sow into this word through super thanks, membership, or the donation link below, and watch how your seed becomes someone else's salvation. You are not giving to content. You are given to kingdom ignition. Do it now, because what you fund, I will favor. You settled into routines, some born of comfort, others of fear, and many of familiarity. You've walked through days in patterns that felt safe, even when they left you hollow. Doing the same things, going to the same places, staying in the same relationships, not because they invigorate your soul, but because they simply exist. You told yourself that routine means stability. But I see beneath the surface. Those routines became prisons, shells that muffled the calling I placed in you. I didn't come into this moment to disrupt your schedule. I came to disrupt your excuses. I didn't come only to move your merits, I came to move your mountains. And to do that, I had to break the shell. You might feel disoriented, as though the compass of your comfort has melted, as though the safe has been unlocked and the secure has been stripped. And that's exactly what I intended, not to punish you but to liberate you. That shell was making you small. It was holding your calling hostage. My divine disruption is not to push you off course, but to push you into the path where your purpose meets its power. I'm not just breaking your routine. I'm breaking chains. Chains of complacency, of cultural pressure, of self-doubt. I'm dismantling what kept you hidden in your humanness, so I can raise up what's divine in your destiny. So do not fear this disorientation. Do not try to rebuild the shell. Let it fall, because inside it is the you I've called, unashamed, unfiltered, unstoppable. I am calling your obedience, not your perfection. I want your freedom far more than I want your familiarity. The collapsing shell isn't your undoing, it's your unveiling. And the first breath you take in this new space will taste like purpose. I am the God who labors to break what needs breaking so what needs birthing can live. And what I will birth in your life will eclipse everything that came before, not because of your strength, but because of my transformation. Your calling is no longer dormant. It's now defying darkness, and nothing can stop what my power has awakened in you. Do not mistake the stillness of this room for absence, for there is a holy presence beyond what your senses perceive. I've assigned angels to this hour. Yes, celestial beings stationed at your bedside, positioned at the threshold of your thoughts, poised to release what's been delayed in your life. This is not poetic imagery or sentimental fluff. It is heavenly strategy. While you wrestled alone with waiting and wondering, my angels stood sentry, guarding your call, defending your faith, and preparing your breakthrough. They are waiting for the moment I release what I've held in the heavenly vault, and that moment is now. What has lingered too long, the prayer that never landed, the promise that felt too distant, the healing that seemed to stall, is now being delivered. My angelic messengers have watched and waited, gathered the fragments of your faith, collected your scattered hope, and now stand ready to bring shift. The walls between your prayer and your answer are thinning, and what seemed paused is now poised to press forward. You'll sense it. Quicken momentum, sudden clarity, divine confirmations. Not because you made a move, but because my messengers are executing my will, and they are doing it with precision. I placed them here, stationed them here, not to observe, but to accompany you into what I've decreed. This hour is more than symbolic. It is sacred. The hush around you is magnetic, drawing grace downward. The strain you've borne is becoming the gateway to shift. Let your heart rest in this moment. You don't need to conjure faith. You only need to receive. Allow my angels to minister what your delay has preserved. Every tear you cried was collected. Every word postponed was recorded. Every moment of waiting was preparing the soil for this release. You're not still. You're standing on the cusp, and the heavenly cavalry is here. So breathe deeply. Don't rush to respond. Receive what I am releasing. Because my angels are not just present. They are pressing in. And what was postponed will no longer be postponed. It will be precipitated. There are promises tied to this night, sealed in heaven, anchored in my word, and protected by my authority, that no enemy can cancel. You may feel the stir of spiritual sabotage. You may hear the whispers of defeat. But know this, what I have spoken over your life, no force can rescind. I have aligned this night with destiny, and every prophetic imprint that is birthing in you right now carries my unbreakable covenant. Not faith in your faithfulness, but faithfulness in my promise. There is a cause in this chaos, a plan in this pressure, a purpose in this pause, and none of it is arbitrary. The darkness around you is not your judge, but your stage. I've choreographed ripples of blessing in the middle of what felt like delay. And now, those ripples are gathering momentum. What was prophesied in the quiet is now pressing into manifestation. I will not let this night pass without marking you with markness, without confirming what was predestined, without initiating what was inevitable. Enemy schemes may loom, timing may tease, doubts may rise, but promise resting in purpose stands unshaken. This night is a signature moment, a turning point where what was resting in my heart begins to ripple in your world. Stand firm, beloved. This is not just any moment. It is the appointed moment, saturated with what I have sworn. So rise, not in your strength, but in my word. This night is lit, not by streetlights or screens, but by the light of my unchangeable promise, and it cannot be dim. I've heard every silent cry, every whispered hope trembling beneath your breath. I have seen the questions you dared to ask only in the dark. God, why? When next? Is this really you? And now, in the quiet of this sacred moment, your seeking has awakened my answers. This is no longer pursuit. I am pursuing you. Where your questions have led, my signs now align, and your faith will shift from wandering to wondering in revelation. I am clearing the fog, so clear your inner eyes can see the road I've paved just for you. You have not spoken your doubts in vain. You have not hidden your longings beneath courage for nothing. I have recorded them. I have courted them with compassion. And tonight I answer, not with concepts, but with encounters, not with statistics, but with substance. I am answering your questions through the atmosphere. Your seeing is now being shaped by the sacred questions that once unsettled you. That's why you can't sleep, because what you sought in curiosity, I now unveil in clarity. Let your spirit awaken, my child, not to more inquiry, but to revelation. Your questions were not detours, they were doorways, and I am moving through them now. What you wonder will become what you walk through. Your seeking becomes seeing, your silence becomes song, your questions become your testimony. So, as the night unfolds, lean into my words, feel my nearness, breathe my truth, because your answers are arriving as invitations from heaven itself. I know how close you felt to the brink. Every quiet moment, every tear, every sigh, you feared it was you breaking. You thought the weight would fracture you beyond repair. But hear me now. This is not your breaking. It is your breakthrough. This is not the end. It is the opening of something more powerful than you dared to imagine. I've been deconstructing the hardness around your heart, not to leave you shattered, but to shift you into the hands of my deliverance. You see, I don't bring light into places when you're already comfortable. I bring light into places when it's dark enough that only my voice can guide you. I've allowed the walls to tremble so that the foundation I rebuild in you is unshakable. Your perceived collapse is not ruin, but realignment. The pieces you thought were scattered are being put back together with my purpose. This isn't the dust of your life. This is the dust before the dawn, before the miracle of new breath, new boldness, new beginning. So do not mourn what feels like a breaking moment. Instead, worship me in the rearranging. Celebrate me in the tearing down. You are being remade. You are becoming the person you were created to be, not despite the pressure, but because of it. This night is not about what was lost. It is about what is being unleashed. Your breakthrough dawns in your breaking, and I, your God, am igniting it now. You've chased purpose and prayed for direction, but underneath it all lies a deeper urgency, a longing to remember who you are, not only what you're called to do. And the rush of awakening, don't mistake movement for identity. I am not merely rerouting your steps, I am restoring your identity, the authentic, beloved identity I crafted at creation. Before assignments, before adversities, before anything else, you were mine. Every shift I breathe into your story begins with a deeper reclaiming of your divine self. You've carried expectations, yours, societies, cultures, that tried to define you in terms of performance, perfection, or productivity. But I'm not calling you based on your performance. I'm restoring you to your purpose-rooted identity. You aren't being reshaped to fit a role. You are being restored to who you've always been in my heart. The cracks you see, the doubts you feel, they are not evidence of failure. They are windows revealing the need for my healing. And I am here, lovingly, deliberately, to restore the masterpiece you were born to be. This is not a cosmetic shift. This is soul-deep restoration. I'm aligning your sense of self not based on what you do, but on who you belong to. When the world measures value in accolades, I anchor your worth in your sonship, your daughtership. And voices outside shout worth through positions. I whisper worth through relationship. I don't need your performance. I already put my signature on your soul. This restoration will recalibrate your calling. It will ground your steps in my love, not your striving. And once your identity is restored, your destiny will follow naturally, anchored, activated, unstoppable. So breathe in this truth and exhale the weights you've carried. You are not birthed for comparison. You are not defined by seasons of silence or success. You are defined by my never-ending, unearned love. I am restoring your identity, so that every next step emerges from knowing who you are, as my beloved child, chosen, sealed, irreplaceable. I know your heart has grown weary of waiting. You've counted the days, the disappointments, the dashed hopes, asking, God, am I too late? But understand this, what you see as a delay, I see as deliberate preparation. I am not silent because I've forgotten. I am silent because I am strategically aligning the atmosphere for breakthrough so powerful that when it arrives, you will know it could have only come from me. The silence around your assignment is not emptiness. It is my alignment at work. I'm in the unseen, moving people, ranging moments, birthing strategy, and refining character, all in divine timing. What felt like stalling is actually seeding. What felt like being stuck is shaping. The breakthrough you will soon walk into is built on the foundation of my secret preparations. And you, in your faithfulness, are already in position. I'm not simply breaking the delay. I redefine the delay as my rehearsal for your release. Every tear, every longing moment, every frustration, it was me crafting a deeper capacity in you. So that when breakthrough comes, it doesn't just change your path, it changes you. You will rise not merely with success, but with maturity, with clarity, with resilience. And the breakthrough, when it arrives, will not break you, it will bless you. So resist the lie that you're too late. Resist the whispers that repeated delay indicates denial. Instead, anchor in my sovereignty. I'm not late. I'm laden with provision, wisdom, shift. Trust the process. Your breakthrough is not falling behind. It is arriving as you've been positioned. And my hand, unseen but unshakable, is leading the way. My beloved child, though your eyes may burn and your heart may feel the weight of weariness, let me tell you clearly, this sleeplessness is not a curse. It is sacred. The tossing and turning that you've struggled against is my invitation. I've opened this night as a sanctuary, not of rest, but of revelation. When your body is tired and your mind is quiet, that's when heaven speaks most clearly. This moment, sharp and raw, is not random. I have designated it a holy enclave where the sound of my voice can break through, undiluted by comfort or distraction. You see, I don't waste silence. I don't cast my words into empty noise. I waited until everything seemed still so that when I spoke, you'd be ready to listen, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. This sanctuary is forged in the trembling of your soul and the yearning of your spirit. This sleepless night is not an accident. It is my deliberate design. I have readied this sacred space to unfold my plans in your innermost being, where only my love can awaken what's fallen asleep. You have labored through days that felt longer than years. You have cried out for clarity, for direction, for purpose. And tonight, in the hush, I bring more than answers, I bring presence. I am here, not as a distant spectator, but as a friend leaning near, speaking into every sacred pause. The waymark of this moment will not fade at dawn. It will define your next steps. Right here, right now, I am revealing what cannot be seen in light. I am unveiling what only whispers of my heartbeat could ever capture. You are not lost. You are beloved. You are being shown. So remain in this hush, this tremble, this undefended openness. This sacred sleeplessness is not the end of peace. It is the threshold of revelation. And I, your Father, stand within it, waiting to speak life into what's sleeping in your spirit. Dear child, that lingering wakefulness isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of destiny. When sleep deserts your tired eyes, know that this moment is my chosen stage. I have carved out this space, in this immovable hour, so that you might encounter what you've longed for with greater intimacy than ever before. The sanctuary of sleeplessness is where divine momentum shifts from whisper to wave. This hour is intensifying not to break you, but to break open a higher level of your calling. In your exhaustion, the truth that I've orchestrated this night for transformation can feel inconceivable. But I'm not shaping your tomorrow in brilliance. I'm shaping it in the low light of honesty, vulnerability, and unfiltered reception. What you feel tired of, I have made sacred. The heaviness of your heart is now the holy ground where my next move will take root. The night bears my fingerprints. Your soul's unrest is proof that something extraordinary is aligning in you and for you. This clarity you feel stirring, this sense that your breath carries more than air, it is me, restoring vision. I am redefining your trajectory in this very moment. Your future is being repositioned, remapped, energized, not in the glare of daylight, but in the glow of my presence. You will step into morning not with confusion, but with conviction. You will awaken not scattered, but sovereign in purpose. So stay awake, my child. Remain in the sanctuary of this sleeplessness. You are being shaped by a presence that will define all your next steps. This is not just a night. It is your night of new beginnings. In the hush that seems so fragile, I am speaking loudly. You ready to rise? There are moments in your life that shift more than circumstance. They shift identity, trajectory, legacy. This is one of them. I would not let you rest tonight because I was writing something eternal into the marrow of your spirit. You are standing on the holy hinge between who you were and who you are becoming. And after this moment, after these words, you will never again be the same. You have crossed through a divine threshold. This isn't just awakening, it is transformation. Not partial, not momentary, but soul deep, identity shaping, forever kind of change. You feel it, a hum in your chest, a tear that won't fall but lingers in your eye. That is evidence, not of emotion, but of encounter. You've been marked, not by men, not by circumstance, but by me. I have written my name across the places you thought were forgotten. I have breathed destiny into the cracks you thought were only scars. I have spoken light over the valleys where you once assumed no sunrise would come. Tonight, I have done what no man could do, restored you from the inside out, without applause, without noise, without spectacle, Just me and you in this sacred exchange. The ache you've carried for so long, it has met its match in my voice. And from this moment on, you will carry something new. Not just purpose, but power. Not just dreams, but divine directives. I've not merely called you. I've commissioned you. The flame that flickered has now become a holy blaze, and the chains that whispered not yet have snapped under the weight of my now. Do not expect to walk out of this moment untouched. You've been shifted, sealed, set apart. Your very essence has encountered my eternity, and nothing will remain unchanged. So rise, differently. Speak, boldly. Woo, fearlessly. Not because your path is perfect, but because my presence is now permanent in every part of your journey. This is not just an emotional surge, it is a spiritual redefinition. Your life has turned a corner, and you will walk forward marked. When the world looks at you, they will not just see your face, they will feel my fire. You have wrestled tonight like Jacob, and like Jacob, you will walk differently, because you've seen me face to face. And like Jacob, you will never be the same. You have been marked, child. Tonight changed everything. And now that you've heard my voice, you are accountable for the fire I've placed in your spirit. Do not let this moment return void. This word, this movement, this holy message must move like wildfire into others who are still searching in the silence. I'm inviting you, right now, to be a carrier of that flame. When you give, you are sowing into eternal shift. You are multiplying the light that just transformed you. As it is written, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. This is your chance. Respond with a seed through super thanks, membership, or the link in the description, and I will multiply it as testimony and protection over your life. Now, go. Honor this moment by planting into the miracle it birthed. Now, my child, if this message pierced the night and lit something inside of you, do not stay silent. I have awakened you for such a time as this, and I want you to declare it boldly. I will not sleep on my calling. Speak it. Write it. Seal it. Let the heavens and the earth see that your spirit has responded. Drop your declaration below, not for attention, but as an act of alignment. For when you confess what I've awakened, the breakthrough begins to move faster than the night can hold it back. My child, stop. Just for this moment. Do not let your eyes grow heavy just yet, for I will not let you sleep until you have seen this truth. This sudden stillness you feel, this quiet pause in the frantic race of your thoughts, this was not an accident. I have called you to it. I have reached into the very end of your exhausting day and commanded this sacred quiet to fall upon you. I have put a hush over the chaos that screams for your attention, my beloved. I have silenced the endless scrolling on your phone that numbs your mind but never brings you peace. I have muted the nagging replay of that difficult conversation from your day, the one you keep turning over and over, dissecting every word, feeling that familiar sting of regret or misunderstanding. The shouting list of tomorrow's demands, the deadlines, the appointments, the pressures at your job, the unspoken tensions in your family. I have commanded them to be silent. I did all of this so that my whisper, the one you have been straining to hear beneath all that noise, could finally be heard. Before your mind surrenders to the rest it so desperately craves, your spirit must first receive its sustenance from me. You think sleep is what you need most, but your soul is thirsty for something deeper. You cannot enter the vulnerability of your dreams carrying the crushing weight of your world. You must hand it to me first. The anxieties of today and the worries of tomorrow must bow to this divine appointment. I see that knot in your stomach when you think about your finances. I feel the ache in your heart from that unresolved conflict. I know the heavy feeling of being overlooked, of feeling like your efforts are invisible. Bring it all here, into this holy hush. Lay it at my feet. In the shadows of the night, these fears loom like giants, do they not? But here, in my presence, they are cut down to size. They must bow. They must release their grip on you. I have stopped you in your tracks, right here on the edge of sleep, because what I have to say to you is infinitely more critical than your weariness. My word is the very antidote to it. I know you are tired. I see the exhaustion etched on your face, the weight you carry in your shoulders. But the rest you truly seek cannot be found by simply pulling the covers over your head. True rest, the kind that quiets your soul and mends your spirit, begins right here, right now. It begins by seeing what I am about to show you. It begins by letting my truth wash over the lies the world has caked upon you all day. The world tells you to strive harder, to worry more, to be afraid. Now, it is my turn. Let me speak. Consider this a sanctuary in time, created just for you and for me. This is not a message shouted from a mountaintop for all to hear. This is for your ears alone. This is an intimate, private conversation. Feel the frantic energy of your day draining away from you, and feel my peace, a peace the world cannot give, settling over you like a warm, protective blanket. Breathe it in, my child. Breathe in my presence, and breathe out the chaos, the fear, the striving. This sacred pause is my gift to you. I have carved it out of time itself, because you are mine, and I will not let you go into the darkness of the night without first filling you with the light of my truth. Now be still. Settle your heart, and let me show you what you must see. Before another thought of your day rushes in, you must see this. My gaze has been upon you, unwavering. Look with me. I saw that moment today when you felt utterly alone, when the noise of the world faded and you were left with a profound sense of being invisible. Perhaps it was in your car, driving home, when a wave of loneliness washed over you. Or maybe it was in a crowded room, where you felt like a ghost that no one truly saw. In that exact moment, I was closer than the air you were breathing. I was the stillness that held you, the silent presence that knew the depth of the ache in your soul. You were not alone. You have never been alone. My eyes did not miss that silent act of kindness you performed when you were certain no one was watching. When you let that hurried person go ahead of you in line, when you offered a word of encouragement to a coworker who was struggling, when you chose to put something back on the shelf that you wanted but knew you could not afford, I saw it. I saw the purity of your heart in that hidden moment, and it was a fragrant offering to me. Do not ever believe that your small acts of love go unnoticed. They are headlines in heaven. I witnessed the internal battle you fought against temptation, and my child, I celebrated your victory. When the opportunity to join in with gossip arose and you turned away, I saw it. When frustration boiled up and you were tempted to lash out with a sharp word, but you took a deep breath and chose patience instead, I was there, strengthening your resolve. You may have felt weak in that struggle, but I saw immense strength. You were leaning on me, and in that leaning, you found the power to overcome. And the tear, the one you thought was shed in secret as you laid your head down, the one you quickly wipe away hoping no one would see. I have collected it. I know its every cause. It was not just a tear of sadness but of exhaustion, of frustration, of feeling misunderstood. I know the full story behind it, and it is precious to me. Never think you have to hide your vulnerability from me. Your tears are a language I understand perfectly. You must understand, my beloved, my gaze is not the critical stare of a judge waiting for you to fail. It is the unwavering, adoring gaze of a father who is utterly captivated by his masterpiece. I see you in your struggles, not with disappointment, but with profound compassion and pride. I see you trying, stumbling, and getting back up, and my heart overflows with love for you. I see the beauty in your imperfections because they create the spaces where my grace can be most beautifully displayed. You have never been, nor will you ever be, out of my loving sight for even a single second. When you sleep, I watch over you. When you wake, my gaze is the first to greet you, even before the morning sun. I see your hidden fears and your secret hopes. I see the person you are today, and I see the glorious person you are becoming. You are fully known and fully loved, right now, in this very moment. Let that truth sink deeper than your weariness. You are seen. I want you to see the day you just lived through with my eyes. That final surge of energy that carried you through the last hour of work. The strength you mustered to be patient with your family when you felt you had nothing left to give. Where do you think that came from? It was a direct loan from my infinite supply. You were running on fumes and I was your secret fuel. Your exhaustion is born from the moments you forgot this. Your deepest weariness comes from trying to carry burdens that I designed for my shoulders alone. Think of it, my child. The weight of your financial future, the burden of a loved one's choices, the pressure to perform and succeed at your job. You have been trying to lift all of this in your own might. It is no wonder you are tired. You are trying to do my job. Imagine trying to power your entire home with a single battery. It would quickly be drained. I am the power source, the infinite grid. Your role is not to generate the power, but simply to stay plugged into me. Your greatest achievements today were not born from your own striving. They were simply moments where you consented to let my power flow through you. That brilliant idea that came to you in the meeting, the perfect words of comfort you offered to a friend, the sudden burst of creativity that solved a problem. That was not just you. That was you, in your weakness and willingness, becoming a conduit for me. And you must see that your weakness is not a failing. It is the very thing that qualifies you for my strength. It is the empty vessel I am longing to fill with my glory. Your sense of inadequacy is not a sign of your disqualification. It is the invitation for my qualification. Stop seeing your limits as a liability. They are the empty space I need to do my greatest work in you. So I invite you, my child, stop striving in your own might. The world screams hustle harder, but I whisper, abide in me. Start abiding in the effortless strength of my spirit. What does this mean for your tomorrow? It means that before your feet hit the floor, you will acknowledge your need for me. Before you face the difficult task, you will whisper, I cannot do this, Lord, but you can. It means consciously handing me the burdens you are tempted to pick up. The victory you long for is not won by fighting harder, but by surrendering more completely to me. It is a paradox, I know. It goes against everything the world teaches you. But it is my truth. The battle is won not by tightening your grip, but by opening your hands in surrender. Let go of the oars, my beloved. Stop rowing so furiously against the current. Let go, and let me carry you. Your strength is not in your effort. It is in your complete and total dependence on me. I know your mind is replaying them. The moments from today that you have labeled failures. The sharp word you spoke. The task you forgot. The opportunity you missed. The feeling of not being a good enough parent, partner, or friend. Now, I want you to hold those moments up to the light of my truth. Because what you have labeled a failure, I have already marked as a lesson. The moment you stumbled was not a moment of defeat. It was precisely the moment I reached out to teach you how to stand stronger. You were focused on the stumble. I was focused on strengthening your legs for the journey ahead. You felt the shame of the fall. I saw the opportunity for a new beginning. That mistake at work that has you filled with anxiety, I am using it to cultivate a humility and diligence in you that will serve you for the rest of your life. That impatient word you spoke to your child, it has now become a powerful chance for you to model what it means to ask for forgiveness, a lesson far more valuable than a day of perfect behavior. Your mistakes do not and cannot cancel out your purpose. My plan for your life is not that fragile. In fact, your mistakes are often the very tools I use to shape you for your purpose. I am the master artist, and I can take the smudges and crooked lines of your life and weave them into a masterpiece of grace. My grace is so much grayer than your guilt. I need you to feel this right now. Picture your guilt as a heavy stone in your hand. And now, picture my grace as a bottomless ocean. Let go of the stone. Watch it sink. Watch it be swallowed up by the infinite depths of my forgiveness. It is gone. This is the reality of what I have done. So why do you keep punishing yourself for what I have already pardoned? Do not crucify yourself for a sin that my Son has already been crucified for. To hold on to your guilt is to say that his sacrifice was not enough. It is to doubt the power of the cross. Your value, my child, was not determined by your performance today. It does not rise and fall with your successes and failures. Your value was sealed with the blood of my Son at the cross. It is fixed. It is eternal. It is non-negotiable. It is the highest value in the universe, and nothing you did today has changed it by a single fraction. So release the need to prove yourself. Release the shame of your shortcomings. Walk in the freedom of a completely cleared account. There is no condemnation for you. There is only my love, my grace, and my purpose that is being perfected, not in spite of your failures, but often, beautifully, through them. Before you drift off to sleep, you must understand that the struggles you face today were not merely with flesh and blood. You felt the tension with your boss. You saw the unexpected bill. You felt the weight of the bad news. But behind the visible, there is an invisible war being waged for your heart, your faith, and your destiny. There is an enemy who despises you because you are mine. He studies you, looking for a moment of weakness, a crack in your armor. His goal is simple: to steal your peace, kill your hope, and destroy your faith. You must see this reality not to be afraid, but to be wise. Today, angels were dispatched to guard you from dangers you will never know. Do you remember that moment in traffic when another car swerved unexpectedly, and you narrowly avoided a collision? That was not luck. That was my ministering spirit acting on your behalf. There were other moments, unseen hazards and hidden traps, from which you were protected. My protection over you is a constant, powerful reality. And the whispers of doubt and fear that you entertain today, that persistent thought that you are not good enough, that you will never change, that I have forgotten you, those were not your own thoughts. They were fiery arrows from the accuser, designed to poison your mind and paralyze your spirit. You must learn to recognize his voice. It is the voice of condemnation, anxiety, and confusion. It is the opposite of mine. But you are not defenseless. Every prayer you uttered today, even the simple, desperate cry of "Lord, help me," was a powerful counterattack in the spiritual realm. You cannot see it, but your words of faith cause demons to tremble and shift the spiritual atmosphere around you. Prayer is not a passive, hopeful wish. It is an active, offensive weapon in this spiritual war. My name has been a shield around you, a fortress for your soul. Every accusation the enemy hurled at you today shattered against the reality of who you are in my Son. He cannot touch your true identity. He cannot steal your salvation. His only power is in deception, to trick you into believing his lies over my truth. You are not alone, weary soldier on a hopeless battlefield. Hear me now. You are a beloved child of the King of Heaven's armies, the Lord of hosts. The most powerful, undefeated force in all of creation fights for you. You are on the winning side. So rest tonight, not as a victim of circumstance, but as a protected, defended, and victorious child of the Most High God. My child, pause here. We have cleared the battlefield of lies, but do not turn away now. It would grieve my heart for you to see the battle I fight for you, only to walk away before I show you the safe path I have paved through it all. Stay, there is so much more I must reveal. I know the path you are on feels uncertain to you right now. It is tempting to look at the twists and turns, the unexpected hills, and the rocky terrain and conclude that you have taken a wrong turn. But you must see this from my perspective. Every inch of this path hath been mapped by my loving hand. To you, it may look like a confusing maze, but to me, it is a perfectly drawn line leading you exactly where you need to go. Do not mistake a difficult season for a wrong turn. Sometimes, the holiest ground I call you to walk upon is the rockiest. Your faith is not built on smooth, easy pavement. It is strengthened when you learn to trust me to guide your footing over treacherous ground. The strength of your character is being forged in the heat of these trials, not in the comfort of a life without challenges. Those detours you lamented, the plans that fell through, the doors that closed, you saw them as setbacks. I saw them as divine protection. You could not see the washed-out bridge just around the bend, the hidden danger that lay on your preferred path. The job you were so disappointed you did not get. I saw the toxic environment that would have crushed your spirit, that relationship that ended so painfully. I saw the heartbreak ahead that would have been far grayer. You must trust my wisdom over your limited view. My primary concern on this journey is not always your immediate comfort. It is the eternal development of your character. I am more invested in making you holy than I am in making you happy, because I know that true, lasting joy is a byproduct of holiness. I am making you more like my Son, and the journey itself is my workshop. Your final destination is secure in me. Your salvation is not in question. Your eternal home is guaranteed. Therefore, you can trust my process in getting you there. The most important truth you must see tonight is this: I am with you not just as a guide pointing the way from a distance. I am a companion who walks every single step with you. When your feet ache, I know it. When the path is steep and you are out of breath, I am right there, whispering encouragement, offering my strength. You are not just being led, you are being accompanied. I have not sent you on this journey alone. I am walking it with you, sharing the load, feeling what you feel. So rest in this knowledge. The path is known, the guide is faithful, and the companion will never, ever leave your side. Before your thoughts begin to quiet, there is a fundamental truth we must establish, one that is more real than the bed you are lying in or the air filling your lungs. You must understand the weight and the worth of your true identity. The world has spent all day trying to label you, to fit you into a box. It has tried to define you by your job title, by the money in your bank account, by your successes, and most painfully, by your failures. You look in the mirror, and you see a person trying to keep it all together. You measure your worth by the approval you receive from others, by your productivity, by your relationship status. But these are all fleeting, fragile things. They are like clothes that can be torn or taken away. And I see you, my child, terrified of being left with nothing, of being a nameless orphan left to fend for yourself in a cruel world. That fear must end tonight. That is a lie from the pit of hell, and we will demolish it now. Listen to me. You are not an orphan. You are not a statistic. You are not your job. You are not your past mistakes. You are not the opinion of others. Before you are anything else, you are a child of the Most High God. This is your primary, unshakable, eternal identity. You are royalty, an heir to a kingdom that cannot be shaken, a kingdom where you are known by name and cherished beyond measure. Do you feel the weight of that? Your identity is not something you achieve. It is something you receive. It was bestowed upon you the moment you first called on my name. It is not found in what you do. It is found in the unshakable, unbreakable, irreversible fact that you are mine. I want you to let that sink in. You are mine. When you feel insignificant at work, remember, you belong to the King of the universe. When you feel the sting of rejection in a relationship, remember, you are wholly and eternally accepted by me. When you feel like a failure as a parent or a friend, remember, your identity as my beloved child is perfect and secure, completely untouched by your performance. Your true identity is found in the one relationship that can never be broken, the one love that will never fade or fail. This is the foundation upon which your entire life must be built. Everything else is shifting sand, but this, your identity in me, is solid rock. Let this truth be the very last thought that settles in your mind tonight. Let it silence every other voice that tries to tell you who you are. Drown out the whispers of the accuser with this thunderous truth. Let it be the first thought that greets you upon waking, the armor you put on for a new day. You are my child. And that, my beloved, changes everything. I know that your heart is heavy with the memory of pain. Some of it is fresh from today, a harsh word, a deep disappointment. Some of it is old, a wound from long ago that still aches when the air gets cold. In those moments of suffering, the question that echoes in your soul is why. The pain can feel so random, so senseless, so cruel. And I am not asking you to pretend that it does not hurt. I see your suffering, and it moves my heart with a compassion you cannot fathom. But you must see what I am doing. The pain you have endured, however senseless it may have felt, was not without purpose. I am the master weaver. From your vantage point on the underside of the loom, all you can see is a chaotic mess of tangled threads and dark, confusing colors. It looks like a mistake. But from my perspective, I am weaving those very threads, even the dark, painful ones, into a beautiful and intricate tapestry. You cannot see the design yet, but I can, and I promise you, it is glorious. Every trial you face is a tool in my hands. I am using your struggles to forge in you a faith that is more precious than the finest gold. Gold, to be purified, must pass through an intense, refining fire. The fire does not destroy it. It burns away the impurities, leaving only what is pure and valuable. This pressure, this heat you are feeling, it is my refining fire. It is burning away your dependency on your own strength, your pride, your fear. It is leaving you with a resilient, pure, and powerful faith that will sustain you for all your days. The scars you carry will one day become a powerful testimony to my healing power. They will be a map that you can use to guide others who are lost in the same wilderness you have survived. Your pain is being redeemed, transformed from a weapon against you into a well of compassion for others. Most importantly, you must know that I have not been distant in your suffering. In your darkest hour, I have not been watching from afar. I have been holding you through it. When you felt you were breaking, my arms were the very thing holding you together. When your tears fell, they fell upon me. Your affliction, which feels so heavy and overwhelming right now, is temporary and light in comparison to the eternal weight of glory that it is producing in you. This is not just a comforting phrase. It is an absolute promise. The strength, the wisdom, the compassion, the unshakable faith you are gaining through this trial are treasures of eternal worth. So do not lose heart, my child. I am with you in the pain, and I am weaving it into a purpose far greater than you can currently imagine. There is a lie, whispered in the darkest corners of your fear, that must be utterly demolished tonight. It is the most poisonous lie the enemy uses, because it strikes at the very root of your faith. It is the lie that I have forgotten you. It is the feeling that your desperate prayers are just bouncing off a ceiling of brass, unheard and unanswered. It is the silence that you interpret as my absence. It is the temptation to look at the lives of others, who seem to have it so easy, and conclude that I am blessing them but have passed you by. This lie is designed to make you give up, to stop praying, to let bitterness take root in the soil of your heart. But I tell you the truth, every word, every sigh, every tear you have offered in prayer has been heard and has been cherished. Your prayers are not lost in transit. They arrive before my throne as a sweet and precious incense. You feel forgotten. Look at my hands. I have inscribed your name on the palms of my hands. You are eternally before me. I cannot look at the very hands that were pierced for you without seeing your name, without being reminded of my covenant with you. To believe that I could forget you is to believe I could somehow forget my own suffering, my own sacrifice, my own son. It is impossible. My silence is not my absence. You must learn to trust me in the quiet. Often, my silence is a time of profound preparation. I'm preparing the answer for you, and perhaps even more importantly, I'm preparing you for the answer. To give you the blessing you are asking for right now might crush you. You need to be strengthened. Your character needs to be developed, so that when the blessing comes, you can carry it. My silence is not a rejection. It is an act of my loving wisdom. I know your needs before you even ask, and my timing is always perfect. Your concept of time is a straight line of moments. My understanding of time is eternal. I see the end from the beginning, and I know the precise, perfect moment for your deliverance, for your breakthrough, for your miracle. To rush would be to give you something less than my absolute best. Trust my timing. Trust my heart. The enemy wants you to measure my love by your current circumstances. I want you to measure your circumstances by my unchanging love. Do you see the difference? One leads to despair, the other to unshakable hope. So let us destroy this lie once and for all. For me to forget you would require me to cease to be God. It would mean the universe would unravel. I hold all things together, my child, and that includes you. You are not forgotten. You are at the forefront of my mind and the center of my heart. I want you to take a journey back with me, just for a moment, through the day you have just completed. I want to open your eyes to see the small, constant miracles of my provision that you have completely overlooked. You are so focused on the big needs, the mountains that need moving, that you are blind to the gentle rain of my faithfulness that sustains you moment by moment. Let us look together. The fact that your heart has been beating in your chest all day, a steady, faithful rhythm you did not have to command or control, that was me. The air that filled your lungs, each and every breath drawn without conscious effort, that was a gift from me. The food you ate, which gave your body energy to move and to think, was a product of a world I sustained for your benefit. These are not small things. They are the very fabric of your existence, woven by my hand. Now look closer. Do you remember that moment of peace that settled on you for no reason, right in the middle of a stressful afternoon? That was me, whispering to your spirit. Do you recall that timely word from a friend, a text message or a phone call that came at the exact moment you needed encouragement? I prompted them. That unexpected solution to a problem you had been wrestling with, the idea that just popped into your head. That was my wisdom, given to you freely. I am not just the God of the burning bush and the parting of the sea. I am the God of daily bread. I am the God of the parking space that opens up, the God of the quiet moment in a chaotic day, the God of the strength to take one more step when you felt like collapsing. I have sustained you today in ways you are not even aware of. I have protected you in the background, provided for you in silence. My faithfulness is not a dramatic, occasional event. It is the constant, underlying reality of your entire life. You are held together, moment by moment, by my loving power. When you see this, when you learn to open your eyes to the thousands of small graces that fill your ordinary day, your perspective will change. Gratitude will replace anxiety. You will stop living in a mindset of lack and start living in the overwhelming reality of my abundance. Your life is a tapestry of my constant care. Stop looking only for the thunder and lightning of my power, and learn to see my love in the gentle, life-sustaining rain of my daily provision. It has been all around you, all day long. You now see how I hold you, how I provide for you. But it would wound me deeply for you to accept my daily provision, yet refuse the profound freedom I am about to offer. The chains of your past are still waiting to be addressed. Do not be satisfied with mere sustenance when complete liberation is at hand. Listen, I long to set you fully free. Before you sleep, it is vital that you fully grasp the immense, total, and irreversible power of my forgiveness. Your human understanding of forgiveness is flawed. You forgive, but you might struggle to forget. You forgive, but you might still hold a person at arm's length. My forgiveness is nothing like that. When I forgive your sins, I make a divine choice to not remember them any longer. They are not just swept under a rug in heaven. They are removed. They are cast into the depths of the sea of my forgetfulness, to never be brought up against you again. I have separated you from your transgressions as far as the east is from the west. This is not poetry, my child. This is your spiritual reality. There is no sin so dark, no mistake so shameful, that the blood of my Son is not sufficient to wash it completely clean. Stop bringing your filthy rags of self-effort to me, trying to clean yourself up before you approach. You cannot. The only thing that makes you clean is His sacrifice, and that sacrifice was perfect and complete. So I command you tonight, stop punishing yourself for what I have already pardoned. When you replay your mistakes, when you drown in guilt and shame, you are not being humble. You are doubting the power of the cross. You are essentially telling me that my Son's death was not quite enough to cover that particular sin. You must see how this grieves my heart. The debt has been paid in full. The account has been cleared. To continue trying to make payments on a debt that has been canceled is foolishness. You are not defined by your worst moment. You are not the label of your biggest mistake. You are defined by His best moment, by His perfect sacrifice on your behalf. When I look at you now, I do not see your sin. I see the perfect righteousness of Christ that now covers you like a royal robe. You need to start seeing yourself the way I see you. Walk in the freedom of a completely cleared account. The gavel of justice has fallen, and the verdict was not guilty, not because you were innocent, but because someone innocent took your place. Therefore, there is now no condemnation for you. Let that word wash over you. O condemnation. Release the guilt. Lay down the shame. Refuse to listen to the accuser who wants to keep you chained to your past. My Son did not die to make you feel guilty. He died to set you free. Receive that freedom now, in its fullness, and prepare to sleep the true, deep rest of the forgiven. It is time for us to address the mirror. I see how you look at your reflection. Your eyes, trained by a critical world, immediately scan for flaws. You see the lines of exhaustion around your eyes, the scar you wish would fade, the ways your body has changed over time. You see a list of imperfections. But when I look at you, I see none of that. I look at you and see my beloved creation, a masterpiece formed with intention and delight. I see the eyes that have wept with compassion for another's pain. I see the hands that have served and worked in Helmon. I see a heart that, despite its bruises, is still capable of immense love. You see a flawed exterior, but I see a beautiful spirit, a warrior I am profoundly proud of. Your perception is clouded by the dust of this world. My perception is the unfiltered truth of heaven. Your mind, a relentless prosecutor, replays the footage of your past mistakes. You see the moments you fell short, the words you regret, the choices you wish you could undo. You see a stained and tarnished record. But when I look at you, I do not see your sin. The moment you turned to me, it was washed away, and I see you clothed in the pure, brilliant righteousness of my Son, Jesus. Your past does not define you in my presence. His perfection defines you. Imagine being given a royal garment of the purest white. That is how I see you. You are still looking at the old, dirty clothes on the floor, but I only see the glorious robe you are now wearing. It is time for you to see what I see. You feel your own weakness so acutely, don't you? You feel the anxiety, the inadequacy, the fear that you simply cannot handle what is on your plate. You see yourself as a cracked and fragile pot, always on the verge of shattering. But I see something entirely different. I see the perfect vessel for my power. My strength is not drawn to your abilities. It is drawn to your weakness, because it is in your complete dependence that my power can be most perfectly displayed. Those cracks you despise, they are the very places where my light shines through most brightly for a broken world to see. Stop lamenting your weakness and start seeing it as the entryway for my strength. And where you see your current struggles and feel hopelessly stuck in what is, I see the glorious saint you are becoming in me. I see your potential. I see the destiny I have written for you. I see the finished work. I am not limited by your present reality. I am captivated by your eternal possibility. And your faith, you lament that it is so small, so fragile, as tiny as a mustard seed. You feel it is not enough. My child, the tiny seed of sincere trust is beautiful and precious in my sight. I do not measure the size of your faith. I celebrate the object of your faith. A tiny faith in a great and powerful God is enough to move mountains. I delight in you, not because of what you do or how strong you feel, but simply, powerfully, wonderfully, because you are mine. My child, you have just seen a glimpse of how I truly see you, not as flawed or weak, but as my cherished masterpiece, a vessel for my power. If your heart now burns to reflect the value I see in you, then I am calling you to become a beacon of this truth to my other children who still believe they are unseen and forgotten. Every seed you sow through your giving becomes a ray of my light, searching for a soul lost in the darkness. I declare over you now, he who supplies seed to the sower will supply and multiply your resources and increase the harvest of your righteousness. This is not a request. It is a divine appointment to partner with me in the harvest of souls. As you release what is in your hand, I will release what is in mine, and the windows of heaven will open over you. Act now. Honor me through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, and watch as I use your faith to show others the glory I see in them. There is a weight you carry, a bondage you have become so accustomed to that you mistake it for part of who you are. Perhaps it is an addiction, a secret habit that brings you shame. Perhaps it is a crippling fear, an anxiety that dictates your decisions. Or maybe it is a generational curse, a pattern of anger or poverty or brokenness in your family that you feel doomed to repeat. You feel bound by it. You wrestle with it. You hate it, but you feel powerless against it. Tonight I want you to see it with my eyes. See it for what it truly is, broken. The addiction you think defines you has no legal claim on you anymore. The fear that whispers lies in your ear is a toothless lion. The generational pattern you feel trapped in has had its power cut off at the root. Listen to me. The Son has set you free, and you are free indeed. This is not a future promise. It is a present reality. The power of sin over you was shattered at the resurrection. The moment my Son walked out of that tomb, he broke the dominion of darkness over every single person who would ever put their trust in him. That includes you. So why are you still living in the prison cell? The door has not just been unlocked. It had been blown off its hinges. You are free to walk out. The enemy, the deceiver, cannot bind one whom I have declared free. His only power now is deception. He is a liar, whispering through the bars of a dismantled cage, trying to convince you that you are still in prison. He cannot force you to stay. He can only trick you into choosing to remain. I command you tonight, in the authority of my name, to stop identifying with your old chains. Stop saying, I am an anxious person or I have an anger problem. That is your old identity. Start identifying with your new freedom in Christ. Start declaring, I am a child of God, and I walk in peace and self-control. Stop carrying the weight of those broken chains. Can you see them? They are lying on the floor of the cell, shattered and powerless. But out of habit, you keep picking them up every morning and carrying them around, believing their weight is still yours to bear. Lay them down. Right now. In this quiet moment, consciously lay down the weight of that fear, that habit, that generational lie. Refuse to pick them up again tomorrow. When the old temptation comes, do not see it as a master you must obey, but as a powerless ghost from a life that is no longer yours. You are not a slave to sin. You are a child of the King, and you have been made gloriously, completely, and eternally free. Walk in that freedom. There is another subtle trap the enemy sets for you, one that robs you of joy and blinds you to my goodness. It is the trap of comparison. I see you do it. You scroll through the lives of others, presented in carefully curated squares of seeming perfection. You see their successes, their happy families, their new achievements, and a familiar poison begins to seep into your heart. Envy. You look at their journey, and then you look at your own, and you feel that you are behind, that you are lacking, that my hand of blessing is on them but not on you. This is a dangerous lie that you must reject with all your might. Your race is your own. I have called you to run in a lane that has been uniquely designed for you. If you are constantly looking over your shoulder into another's lane, you will inevitably stumble in yours. I have crafted a destiny for you that is specific, unique, and unrepeatable. It has its own timing, its own set of challenges designed to shape you, and its own unique blessings that are tailored perfectly for you. To wish your journey was like someone else's is to question my wisdom as the author of your story. It is to look at the unique masterpiece I am creating with your life and to tell me you would have preferred a copy of someone else's. Do not insult my artistry in your life by coveting the canvas of another. The success of your brother or sister does not diminish the plan I have for you. My resources of grace, blessing, and glory are infinite. I do not have a limited supply. Another person's victory does not mean there is less victory available for you. On the contrary, you are part of a family, a body. When one part is honored, the whole body should rejoice. I command you to change your posture from one of envy to one of celebration. When you see another blessed, I want you to genuinely thank me for their victory. This act of selfless celebration is a powerful antidote to the poison of jealousy. It breaks the enemy's hold on your heart and aligns you with my abundant, generous nature. It opens you up to receive the specific blessings that I have stored up just for you. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and perfecter of your faith, not on the progress of another person's faith. Trust me with your story. I am a good author, and the chapter I am writing for you is essential, beautiful, and will unfold in its perfect time. My child, hear my heart in all of this. Everything I am showing you tonight, every truth, every command, is not just a list of information for you to mentally agree with. It is an invitation. It is an invitation to move beyond a distant, formal religion and into a deep, vibrant, moment-by-moment relationship with me. I see your attempts to please me. I see your attendance at church, your efforts to do the right things. And while your obedience is beautiful to me, what I long for is not just your service, but your heart. I desire more than just your Sunday morning attendance. I long for your daily, moment-by-moment companionship. I do not want to be a subject you study. I want to be the person you love. I am not a distant, untouchable deity. I am not a cosmic force. I am a person, and I desire a real, loving relationship with you. I want you to talk to me as you would a trusted friend, because that is what I am. I want you to talk to me with honesty, with vulnerability, with frequency. Talk to me in your car on the way to work. Whisper to me when you feel that surge of anxiety. Thank me when you experience a small joy. Argue with me when you are confused or angry. I am not afraid of your real emotions. I am not looking for polished, religious prayers. I am looking for your real, unfiltered heart. Do not be satisfied with merely knowing about me. So many people settle for that. They read about me, they hear sermons about me, but they do not truly know me. To know me is to spend time with me, to listen for my voice, to share the intimate details of your life with me, and to allow me to share my heart with you. This is why the veil was torn. You understand the power of that moment. For centuries, my immediate presence was hidden, accessible only to a high priest, only once a year, and only with the shedding of blood. But when my Son declared it is finished, the thick curtain separating a holy God from humanity was ripped in two, from top to bottom. That was me, tearing it. I was tearing down the barrier between us. I was throwing open the door to my very throne room and inviting you to come in, boldly and without fear, at any time. The way hath been made for you. This intimacy I am describing is not something you have to earn. It hath been purchased for you at the highest possible price. So please accept the invitation. Come closer. Do not keep me at arm's length. Let me in, not just into the tidy guest room of your heart, but into every room, every messy closet, every hidden corner. I am not just your God. I want to be your closest, most trusted friend. I have opened the door to my heart and invited you in. Can you feel how close I am? It would be a profound sorrow for me if you stood at the threshold of this intimacy, only to turn back to the noise of the world now. The deepest rest for your soul is just ahead. Do not dishonor this sacred moment by leaving before you have received it. As your eyelids grow heavy, let us speak of the one thing you crave most: rest. Sleep can refresh your body, and I have given it to you as a gift for that purpose. But I can see that your sleep is often not restful. Your body may be still, but your mind continues to race, wrestling with tomorrow's worries and replaying today's regrets. That is because sleep alone cannot give you the rest you need. Only I can give true rest to your soul. You must understand this. My rest is not the absence of activity, it is the presence of me in the midst of it. It is a state of peaceful trust and surrender that you can experience even in the middle of life's greatest storms. The entrance to this rest is found in two simple words: cease striving. Cease striving to control outcomes you were never meant to control. Cease striving to earn the approval of others. Cease striving to be strong enough in your own power. Cease striving and know that I am God. This is the beginning of rest. Now I want you to practice it. I give you a command and a promise. Cast every single one of your anxieties upon me, for I care for you deeply. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine instruction for your peace. So do it now. Mentally gather up all your worries, the financial pressure, the health concern, the relational strife, the unknown future. See them as heavy, sharp-edged stones in your hands. Now, open your hands and deliberately place them into mine. Feel the relief as the weight is transferred. I am strong enough to carry them. You are not. My son said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." The yoke is a tool for sharing a load. When you are yoked to me, you are not pulling the plow alone. I am right there beside you, carrying the heavy end of the load. My burden is light because the burden I give you is simply to trust me, to stay close to me. You give me your impossible burden of worry and control, and I give you my easy burden of faith and dependence. It is the greatest exchange you will ever make. So tonight, my beloved, do not just fall asleep. I invite you to enter into my promised rest. Release your grip on your life. Surrender it all to me. Let my peace, which transcends all understanding, stand guard over your heart and your mind. Let it be a blanket for your weary soul. Cease your striving. Cast your cares. Take my yoke. Now, my child, you may truly rest. As you reflect upon your day, I want you to see the people you encountered through my eyes. You believe your interactions are random, that your relationships are merely a product of chance and circumstance. But nothing in your life is random. The people in your orbit are not there by accident. They are divine appointments, each one placed there by my sovereign hand for a specific purpose. You must see this. Look first at those who are a blessing to you. Think of that friend who sent an encouraging text at the very moment you felt like giving up. Think of the family member whose laughter is a balm to your weary soul. Think of the coworker who offered to help when you were overwhelmed. You not see these as simple acts of human kindness. See them as my love made tangible. I place those people in your life to be my arms to hold you, my voice to encourage you, my hands to help you. Do not take them for granted. They are precious gifts, expressions of my tender care for you. Acknowledge them, cherish them, and thank me for them. Now, I want you to see the others, the people who are your assignment, the quiet person at your workplace whom everyone overlooks, the neighbor you know is going through a difficult time, the family member who does not yet know me. You see them as part of the scenery of your life, or sometimes even as an interruption to your busy schedule. But I have placed them in your path for you to be a blessing to them. They are an opportunity for you to show them my love. Your simple smile, your listening ear, your offer of practical help, these are the very ways I intend to reach them. I am calling you to see these people not as a burden, but as a holy privilege. You have been asking me to use you, and I am answering that prayer by placing these souls directly in your path. Will you accept the assignment? Finally, we must talk about the difficult people. I know who just came to your mind. The person whose words frustrate you, whose actions wound you, whose very presence can fill you with tension. You see them as a problem, a thorn in your flesh, a source of pain. And your feelings are valid. The hurt is real. But you must look deeper. These difficult people are often the most powerful tools in my hand for your spiritual formation. They are the holy sandpaper I use to smooth the rough edges of your pride. They are the immense weight I use to build the muscle of your patience. They are the unrelenting test that reveals the true state of your ability to forgive. You pray for patience, and I give you the person who tries your patience at every turn. You pray for a forgiving heart, and I allow you to be wrong. You pray for humility, and I place you in a situation where you are misunderstood or unappreciated. Do not despise these tools, as painful as they may be. They are accomplishing in you a work that comfort and ease never could. See each person in your life, the blessing, the assignment, and the abrasive tool, as part of my intricate, loving plan for you. See them all through my eyes, as souls I love dearly. Your world is so incredibly noisy. From the moment you wake, you are bombarded with voices, all shouting for your attention, all demanding your allegiance. The news shouts fear. Advertising shouts discontent. Social media shouts comparison and envy. The voices of your own anxieties and insecurities shout condemnation in your mind. And amidst this deafening chaos, you are trying to hear me. It is no wonder you feel confused. It is no wonder you struggle to know my will. Tonight, I want to teach you how to distinguish my voice from all the others, because learning to hear me is the most critical skill for your journey. You must understand that the different voices have different characteristics. The voice of the enemy, the accuser, will always bring anxiety, condemnation, and confusion. It will sound like this: you failed again. You'll never be good enough. God is disappointed in you. You should be afraid. There is no hope. It pushes. It accuses. It drives you toward despair. Your own voice, the voice of your flesh, often speaks of selfish ambition, comfort, and fear of sacrifice. But my voice is different. Even when I bring conviction for sin, it is gentle and leads to repentance and peace, not to shame and despair. My voice always brings peace. It brings clarity. It brings direction. It brings hope. My voice will always align with my word. It will affirm your identity as my beloved child. It will empower you, encourage you, and lead you toward life. My voice is often not a shout, but a still, small whisper that you can only hear when you intentionally quiet the other noises. So how do you learn to hear this whisper? You must tune your spirit to my frequency. And the tuning fork for your spirit is my word, the Bible. You cannot hope to recognize my voice if you are not familiar with what I sound like. Immerse yourself in the scriptures. Read them not as a religious duty, but with eager expectation of hearing from me. My word is alive, and it is the primary way I speak. The more you fill your mind with its truths, the more easily you will recognize a thought or a feeling that is out of tune with it. And you must practice silence. I am not asking you to empty your mind. The world will rush to fill that vacuum. I am asking you to quiet your mind from its own frantic activity and from the world's noise, to allow me to fill it. Tomorrow, I want you to try this. Take just 5 minutes. Turn off your phone, the television, the radio. Sit in silence and do not speak. Simply invite me to speak to you, and then listen. Do not be discouraged if you hear nothing grammatic at first. You are training a muscle. You are cultivating a habit of listening. I am always speaking, my child. The question is, are you intentionally creating the quiet space to listen? As you lie here, on the edge of sleep, I want to address the feeling of insignificance that so often plague you. You go through your days, performing your duties, and you wonder if any of it truly matters. You look at others who seem to be doing great things, and you feel ordinary, small, and overlooked. This is a lie you have believed for far too long. The truth is, I have deposited within your very being unique gifts, divine potential, and seeds of greatness for the building of my kingdom. Your life is not a random accident. It is a divine assignment. The passions and holy desires that burn within your heart, the longing to create beauty, the ache to bring justice, the urge to help those who are hurting, those were not your own ideas. They were placed there by me. They are clues, breadcrumbs leading you toward the specific purpose I have created you to fulfill. You have a habit of disqualifying yourself with excuses. You look at your own perceived limitations and conclude that I could not possibly use you. But you must stop looking at your inadequacy and start looking at my all-sufficiency. You tell me you are not smart enough, but I have chosen the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. You tell me you are not powerful enough, but I have chosen the weak things of the world to shame the strong. You tell me your past is too messy, but I chose a murderer named Moses to lead my people and a persecutor named Paul to build my church. Your excuses are irrelevant in the face of my power. I have already qualified you by placing my spirit within you. Your job is not to be qualified, but to be willing. Do not despise the small beginnings. You look at the mighty oak tree, but you forget that it was once a tiny, vulnerable acorn. Within you, I have planted acorns of destiny. You must not despise them because they look small right now. You must water them with faith and prayer. You must expose them to the sunlight of my word. You must be faithful with the small opportunities I give you today, because it is in being faithful with little that I will entrust you with much. Your life has a divine assignment that no one else in the history of the world can fulfill. There is a unique expression of my glory that I intend to release into the world through you, and only you. If you do not step into your calling, that specific work will remain undone. The world will miss out on the gift that you are. So do not go to sleep tonight believing you are ordinary. Acknowledge the potential I see dormant within you. You are a carrier of divine seeds, a person of great purpose, and it is time to start believing it. My child, I must have a frank conversation about your worry. You treat it as an unfortunate, but normal part of life. You see it as a sign that you care. But I want to reframe it for you tonight. I want you to see it as I see it. Worry is not just a weakness. It is a form of unbelief. It is the sin of believing that I am not truly in control, or that I am in control but that I am not good and cannot be trusted. Every moment you spend worrying about your future, your finances, or your family is a moment you are actively living as if I do not exist or do not care. It is a form of practical atheism, and it is beneath you as my child. Furthermore, worry is a form of arrogance. It is an attempt to shoulder a responsibility that belongs only to me, the sovereign God of the universe. When you worry, you are essentially trying to be your own God. You are acting as if the outcome of the situation depends on the intensity of your fretful thoughts. You are trying to be the air traffic controller for your own life, and for the lives of those you love, a job for which you are completely unqualified. It is an arrogant usurpation of the role that only I can fill. I am the only one who knows the future. I am the only one with the power to act. Your worry is a futile attempt to do my job, and it is crushing you under a weight you were never designed to carry. I have commanded you not to worry for your own good. I know that worry cannot add a single hour to your life. It can only subtract joy and peace from the hours you already have. It is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you absolutely nowhere. It solves no problems. It builds no solutions. It only digs a deeper rut of anxiety in your mind. The antidote to worry is not to simply try harder to stop worrying. The antidote to worry is worship. It is the conscious and deliberate act of shifting your focus from the size of your problem to the size of your God. It is to stop rehearsing your fears and to start rehearsing my promises. When you are tempted to worry about your finances, I want you to praise me as your provider. When you are tempted to worry about your health, I want you to praise me as your healer. When you are tempted to worry about your future, I want you to praise me as the good and faithful author of your story. So tonight, I command you to release your white-knuckled grip on tomorrow. Its provision has already been arranged by me. Surrender your futile and arrogant worry, and step into the peace of trusting the one who truly holds the world in his hands. You have seen the futility of your worry and the greatness I have placed within you. My heart aches at the thought of you knowing your potential, yet leaving before I place your greatest weapon in your hands. The warrior who abandons his training before receiving his sword is destined for defeat. You not grieve your king by walking away now. The secret to your victory is on my lips, waiting to be spoken. As we bring this day to a close, I want to equip you with one of the most powerful weapons in your spiritual arsenal. It is a weapon the enemy fears, a weapon that shatters darkness, a weapon that transforms your heart and your circumstances. It is the weapon of praise. You have come to think of praise as a reaction to good times, something you do when you feel happy and blessed. But that is a shallow and powerless understanding. True praise is not a reaction to your circumstances. It is a weapon to be wielded in all circumstances. It is a declaration of faith made in the face of fear, a song of hope sung in the middle of the night. When you praise me in the storm, you are not denying the reality of the storm. You are not pretending the winds are not howling or the waves are not crashing. You are doing something far more powerful. You are declaring that I am bigger than the storm. You are taking me off the floor of your circumstances and placing me on the throne, high above them. You are enthroning me as king over your situation. Remember my servants Paul and Silas. They were in a dark prison cell, their feet in stocks, their backs bleeding. Their circumstances screamed despair. But what did they do? They prayed and sang hymns of praise. And what happened? The earth shook. The prison doors flew open, and everyone's chains came loose. It is the power of praise. It is a spiritual earthquake that breaks chains. Praise shifts the atmosphere, not only in the spiritual realm, but in your own heart and home. When you feel the heaviness of despair or anxiety trying to settle upon you, I command you to open your mouth and begin to praise me aloud. Start by simply thanking me for who I am, that I am good, that I am faithful, that I am sovereign. Thank me for what I have done. Rehearse my past faithfulness in your life. As you do, you will feel the atmosphere begin to change. Hope will displace despair. Faith will suffocate fear. The enemy flees from the sound of genuine praise to the Almighty God. He is the accuser, the father of lies and despair. He cannot remain in an atmosphere that is filled with gratitude and the exaltation of my name. Praise is the language of faith. It is the ultimate act of trust, declaring my goodness and power before you even see the outcome. It is looking at the giants in the land and choosing to declare that your God is greater. So end your day tonight not with a list of your complaints and worries, but with a symphony of gratitude. Praise me, my child, and watch the darkness flee. I must speak about your feelings, for they are like a powerful storm that often threatens to capsize your faith. I know that this morning you may have woken up and not felt my love. Yesterday you may have sinned, and today you do not feel forgiven. In the midst of your trial, you do not feel my presence. Your heart feels cold, numb, or full of doubt, and you take this feeling as evidence of truth. You conclude that because you do not feel loved, I must not love you. Because you do not feel forgiven, you must still be condemned. Because you do not feel my presence, I must have abandoned you. This is a catastrophic mistake. You are building your entire reality on the shifting, treacherous sands of your emotions. I want you to hear this, and let it sink into the bedrock of your soul. My truth stands firm, whether you feel it or not. My love for you is a covenant fact, an unbreakable promise sealed in the blood of my Son. It is not a fleeting emotion that comes and goes with the weather. My forgiveness is a legal declaration made in the courts of heaven. It is not dependent on your feelings of guilt or worthiness. My presence with you is a sworn oath. I have promised never to leave you nor forsake you, and I am not a man that I should lie. Your feelings, as real and powerful as they are, do not have the authority to change these truths. They are like clouds passing in front of the sun. The clouds may temporarily block your experience of the sun's warmth and light, but they do not move the sun. The sun is still there, in all its power and glory. My promises are the sun, fixed and constant. Your feelings are the clouds. Therefore, I am calling you to a higher level of maturity in your faith. I am calling you to stop being ruled by the tyranny of your feelings. Faith is not the absence of doubt or the presence of a good feeling. Faith is the choice, the resolute act of your will to believe that my word is more true than your feelings are. When you do not feel loved, that is the very moment you must stand up and declare, my feelings are lying to me. The Word of God says I am His beloved child, and I choose to believe His word. When you feel condemned, you must fight back with the truth. My feelings of shame are powerful, but the truth is that there is now no condemnation for me in Christ Jesus. This is the battle of faith. It is not about pretending you don't have negative feelings. It is about refusing to let those feelings have the final say. Do not build your life on the emotional weather report of your heart. Build your life on the solid and movable rock of my word. It is the only foundation that will hold you steady when the storms of emotion rage. You have now chosen to stand on the unshakable rock of my word, refusing to be tossed by the shifting sands of your feelings. If you desire to build upon this rock and make your faith an action, then I am calling you to send this living word to those still drowning in the sea of their own despair and doubt. Your gift becomes a river of my spirit flowing into the desert places of the world, providing heavenly manna for those who are spiritually starving. I now make this promise your reality. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. This moment is a test of your trust, a chance to prove you believe my economy of abundance over the world's narrative of lack. Because you have honored me, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and guard the harvest of your faith. Obey this prompting now. Click Super Thanks, join as a member, or use the PayPal link and make your stand of faith tangible. I know that in your struggles, you often feel that you are fighting alone. You strive to be better, to overcome sin, to find direction, and it feels like an exhausting, uphill battle. This feeling comes from a blindness to a glorious reality. You must see that I have not left you as an orphan in this world to fend for yourself. I have given you the greatest gift possible. I have given you my very own Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to live inside you. He is not a vague force or a distant influence. He is a person, your constant companion, your ever-present helper, and He is actively working within you at every moment. He is your counselor. When you are confused and do not know which path to take, that gentle nudge in your spirit, that sense of unease about one choice and peace about another, that is Him, guiding you into all truth. He is your comforter. In your moments of deepest grief and sorrow, when words fail and all you can do is weep, that unexplainable peace that settles over your heart, that sense of being held and understood, that is Him, comforting you as only I can. And He is the one who brings loving conviction. That feeling of unease you get when you are tempted to say a harsh word or make a selfish choice, that gentle sorrow you feel after you have sinned, that is not my voice of condemnation. That is His loving plea, His urgent whisper, to draw you back to the safety of my will. He is the source of your spiritual life. That sudden desire you have to pray, the unexpected longing you feel for holiness, the urge to open my word and hear from me, that is not you mustering up religious energy. That is His work within you, fanning the flame of your faith, breathing my life into your spirit. And you must understand this crucial truth. He is the seal of your salvation, the guarantee of your inheritance in me. When you place your faith in my Son, I placed my Spirit in you as a divine seal, a mark of my ownership. He is my down payment, my promise, my unbreakable guarantee that I will finish the work I have begun in you and bring you safely home. His presence within you is the absolute proof that you are mine forever. So stop striving in your own strength. Acknowledge His presence. Learn to listen for His gentle leading. Yield to His work. You are not fighting this battle alone. The very power that raised Christ from the dead lives inside of you. Cooperate with Him, and you will find a strength you never knew you possessed. I see your tears. I see the ones that fall silently in the lonely hours of the night, and I see the ones you fight back in the middle of the day, the ones that burn behind your eyes. The world has taught you to see tears as a sign of weakness, something to be hidden or ashamed of. You may even feel that your grief is a sign of a weak faith, that if you truly trusted me, you would not cry. This is not my truth. Your tears are precious to me. I do not turn away from them. I draw near. You must know, with absolute certainty, that your tears are not wasted. The scriptures say that I collect your tears in a bottle. This is not just a beautiful poem. It is a profound truth about my intimate care for you. Every tear you have cried is recorded. Each one is known to me, valued by me, and stored as a memorial to what you have endured. They are a form of liquid prayer, a language of the heart that I understand perfectly. There are moments of pain so deep that you have no words, when your sorrow is a silent scream in your soul. In those moments, your tears speak for you, and I hear their every syllable. I am El Roi, the God who sees. I see you when you feel invisible. I see your pain when you feel no one else could possibly understand. I am not a distant God, observing your suffering with detachment. I am the God who is present in your pain, sitting with you in the ashes of your grief. And your tears, my child, are serving a purpose. They are watering the dry ground of your heart, preparing it for a future harvest. You are in a season of weeping right now, and it is real and it is hard. But I promise you, with the authority of the Creator of the universe, that this season will end. Amoretum joy will dawn. The sorrow you are sowing in tears now will one day be reaped with songs of joy. This is not a hopeful platitude. It is a divine certainty. I am the one who binds up the broken-hearted and comforts all who mourn. I do not just watch you cry. I am actively at work to heal the source of your pain. So do not be ashamed of your tears. Do not despise your sorrow. Release it to me. Let your tears fall into the hands of the one who treasures them, who understands them, and who has promised to one day wipe every single one of them from your eyes forever. Your pain is seen, your tears are valued, and your joy is coming. Listen closely. In your exhaustion, you feel the heavy weight of trying to please me. Religion, in the hands of men, has become a complicated and burdensome thing. It has become a long list of rules to follow, meetings to attend, and spiritual disciplines to perfect. It has become a ladder you feel you must constantly be climbing, and you are exhausted because you feel you are always slipping back down. You live with a low-grade performance anxiety, always wondering if you are praying enough, reading my word enough, doing enough good works. You feel you can never measure up. Tonight, I want to cut through all of that complexity and release you from that heavy burden. My desire for you is simple. I have already told you what is good. It is not about elaborate rituals or perfect performance. It is about the posture of your heart, expressed in 3 simple ways. First, to act justly. This is not as complicated as you make it. It begins with how you treat the people in your daily life. It means being honest in your business dealings. It means treating the cashier at the grocery store with dignity and respect. It means seeing the person you disagree with politically as my image bearer, not as an enemy. It is about fairness, integrity, and seeing the value I have placed on every human soul. It is loving your neighbor in practical, everyday ways. Second, to love mercy. This flows from a heart that is truly aware of the monumental mercy it has received from me. Because I have lavished grace and forgiveness upon you, I require you to be a conduit of that same mercy to others. This means giving the benefit of the doubt instead of jumping to conclusions. It means choosing to forgive the person who hurt you, not because they deserve it, but because you have been forgiven an infinitely greater debt. It is not just the act of forgiving. It is learning to love mercy, to delight in being a person of grace, to find joy in releasing others from the debts you feel they owe you. It is a heart posture of compassion, not of judgment. And third, and most importantly, to walk humbly with your God. This is the root of it all. This is not about having a low opinion of yourself. It is about having a right opinion of me. It is about living in a constant state of dependence and communion with me. It is about living your life as an ongoing conversation with me, talking to me about your decisions, depending on me for your strength, acknowledging me in your successes, and running to me in your failures. It is not a religious performance. It is a loving relationship. So release the heavy burden of religious performance, my child. Stop trying to climb the ladder. I have already come down to you. Simply act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with me. That is all I require. We have mended the fabric of your heart and clarified my simple desire for you. How it would disappoint your Father for you to find peace for today, but miss the eternal perspective that secures your peace for all your tomorrows. You have repaired your house for the night, but I want to show you your eternal home. Do not settle for temporary comfort when I am about to unveil a glory that will change how you see everything. My beloved, the reason your current problems feel so overwhelming, the reason your anxieties have such a powerful grip on you, is that your perspective has become too small. You are looking at your life through a keyhole, seeing only the immediate and the temporary. Tonight I want to pull you back, to lift you up, and to let you see your life through the lens of eternity. You must understand, this life, with all of its intense trials and its fleeting triumphs, is but a vapor. It is a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. It is the opening sentence of the first chapter of a book that has no end. It is important, yes, but it is not the whole story. You must see today's struggles through this eternal lens. That problem at work that consumes your every waking thought, How will it measure up in the light of 10,000 years in my glorious presence? That fear about the future that keeps you awake at night, how does it stand against the absolute certainty of an eternity where there is no more fear, or sorrow, or pain? This perspective does not diminish the reality of your pain now. It gives it its proper context. It prevents the temporary from robbing you of your eternal hope. You are investing all of your emotional energy in the temporary pleasures and avoiding the temporary pains of this world, but in doing so, you are in danger of trading eternal treasures for things that will not last. Do not chase the fleeting pleasures of this world. They are like sand, and they will only leave you thirsty. Invest in what lasts forever: love, righteousness, and your relationship with me. Your true citizenship is in heaven. This world is not your home. You are merely passing through. You are an ambassador here, representing the interests and the character of your true home and your true king. An ambassador does not get entangled in the politics of the foreign country they are serving in. They do not set up permanent residence. Their focus is always on representing their homeland well and looking forward to their return. This is how you must live. This perspective does not make your life now meaningless. It gives it its ultimate meaning and purpose. Every act of kindness, every battle for holiness, every word you speak about me has eternal significance. You are living today in light of that eternal day. So lift your eyes, my child. See beyond the horizon of this short life. Let the magnificent reality of your eternal destiny shrink your present troubles down to their proper size. Live today as a citizen of heaven, and you will find a peace and a purpose that this world can never offer. My child, we must now touch on a difficult subject, a dark corner of your heart where you have been holding a prisoner. It is the matter of unforgiveness. I know the offense was real. The betrayal was deep. The wound still feels fresh and raw. In your human reasoning, you feel you have a right to your anger, a right to hold on to this grudge. You may even believe that withholding forgiveness is the only power you have left over the person who hurt you. But you must hear me now, for your own sake. You cannot receive the fullness of my forgiveness while your own hands are clenched in a fist of unforgiveness towards another. A closed hand cannot receive a gift. It is not a rule I made to be cruel. It is a spiritual reality. A heart filled with the poison of bitterness has no room for the balm of my peace. You believe your unforgiveness is a weapon you are aiming at the person who wronged you, but you are the one drinking the poison. Every time you replay the offense in your mind, every time you rehearse the argument, every time you feel that surge of resentment, you are reopening your own wound and pouring salt into it. Unforgiveness does not keep them in a prison. It keeps you in a prison. It chains you to the very person who hurt you, forcing you to drag them with you into every new day. Forgiveness is not for their sake. It is the key to your own freedom. You must redefine what it means to forgive. To forgive is not to say what they did was okay. It is not to pretend the wound isn't real or that your trust wasn't shattered. To forgive is to make a powerful, conscious choice. It is the choice to release that person from the prison of your judgment and hand them over to my perfect, and far more capable, justice. It is you looking at the debt they owe you, and choosing to cancel it, not because they deserve it, but because you have a debt that was infinitely greater, and I have mercifully canceled it for you. Remember the monumental, unpayable debt of your own sin that I have forgiven you. It was a debt that would have condemned you for eternity. I have wiped that slate completely clean through the sacrifice of my Son. In light of that staggering act of grace, how can you take your brother or sister by the throat and demand they pay you back the smaller debt they owe you? Your unforgiveness is an insult to the cross. It minimizes the grace you yourself have received. So tonight, before you sleep, I am commanding you to get free. I want you to speak their name to me in the quiet of your own heart. Acknowledge the pain they cause. And then, as an act of your will, speak these words to me. For the sake of the forgiveness I have received, I choose to forgive them. I release them from my judgment. I hand them over to you. You may not feel it at first. The feelings may take time to catch up to your choice. But you must make the choice. Let me handle the justice. Let me handle their heart. Your job is to obey and to step into the profound, liberating peace that only the forgiven can know. I hear the lament of your heart so often. You look at your own faith and you are discouraged. You see your doubts, your fears, your wavering trust, and you conclude that your faith is weak, flawed, and displeasing to me. You compare yourself to others who seem so strong, so certain, and you feel like a failure in your spiritual walk. You are frustrated with the smallness of your own belief. I want you to stop this self-flagellation right now. I want you to see your faith as I see it. Where you see weakness, I celebrate its very existence. The fact that you trust me at all, in a world that screams for you to trust in everything else, is a miracle and a thing of profound beauty to me. I am not looking for a perfect, doubt-free faith. That is not the currency of this world. I am looking for a sincere heart that chooses to trust me despite its doubts and fears. You must understand a critical truth. The power is not in your faith. The power is in the object of your faith. A weak faith in a strong and mighty God is infinitely more powerful than a strong faith in a weak and powerless idol. Imagine a small child, lost in a crowd, with only a weak and trembling grip on the strong, steady hand of their father. Is the child safe because of the strength of their own grip? No. They are safe because of the strength of the Father's hand that is holding them. Your faith, even when it feels like a weak and trembling grip, has taken hold of my strong and steady hand, and I will not let you go. The outcome depends on me, not on the perfection of your hold. Stop focusing on the weakness of your grip and start focusing on the strength of the hand you are holding. Even the small seed of faith you possess is a gift that I myself have planted in you, and I am the one who will grow it. Do not despise it for its size. The faith of a mustard seed, my son told you, is enough to move mountains. Why? Not because the seed itself has such power, but because it is planted in the soil of my omnipotence. Every time you choose to trust me in a small thing, when you pray about a worry instead of just wrestling with it, when you give thanks in a difficult circumstance, when you choose my word over your fear, you are watering that seed. You are exercising your faith muscle, and it is growing stronger. I am so pleased with you, my child. Not because your faith is great, but because you have chosen to place it in a great God. Your trust, however imperfect, however faltering, is a sweet aroma to me. It is the one thing in this world that truly honors me. So rest. Stop striving for a perfect faith and simply rest in your perfect Savior. I know the dreams you hold in your heart for your life. Many of those dreams are precious, and many were born from the holy desires that I myself planted within you. You had a plan. You have a timeline. You have a blueprint for how you think your life should unfold. You pray and ask me to bless your plan, to co-sign your agenda. But I see you are often frustrated, disappointed, and confused when your path seems to deviate from the blueprint you have so carefully drawn. You see a closed door as a rejection. You see a no as my displeasure. You must understand, my child, my plan is better than your dreams. You are looking at your life's blueprint through a tiny keyhole. You can only see the one room you are in now, and your plan is based on that limited view. But I am the master architect. I stand outside of time, and I am looking at the full and glorious blueprint for your entire life, a blueprint that includes rooms and wings and courtyards you cannot even imagine yet. My thoughts are not your thoughts, and my ways are higher than your ways. Sometimes I must say no to your good plans to make way for my best plan. Sometimes I must close a door you are desperately trying to open because I know that what lies behind it would lead to a place of pain or mediocrity. The closed door is not a punishment. It is an act of my profound, protective love. You are like a child asking for a shiny, pretty stone, not realizing that I am withholding it because I intend to give you a flawless diamond a little further down the path. I am calling you to a radical act of trust. I am calling you to surrender your blueprint to me. I want you to open your hands, release the crumpled, tear-stained plans you have been clutching so tightly, and place them in my hands. Trust that my design is infinitely wiser and more beautiful than your draft. This is not an invitation to a life of passive resignation. It is an invitation to a thrilling adventure. To let go of your predictable agenda and to embrace the unfolding mystery of mine. I promise you this, my plan will satisfy the deepest longings of your soul in a way your own plans never could. Your plans might bring you a measure of temporary happiness, but my plan will lead you to a place of deep, abiding, eternal joy and fulfillment. It will stretch you, it will challenge you, but it will not fail you. So let go. Let me be the architect of your days. Trust me with the story of your life. I am a much better author than you are. Before your mind fully surrenders to sleep, I want you to conduct a quiet inventory. Reflect with me on the words you spoke today. This is not an exercise in condemnation, but in sober awareness. Your words have power. You have been wielding a tool of immense creative or destructive force all day, perhaps without even realizing it. The tongue holds the power of life and death. You must see this. Did your words today bring life? Did you speak a word of encouragement that lifted a heavy spirit? Did you speak a blessing over your children? Did you express gratitude and thanks, releasing an atmosphere of grace into your home? Did you speak words of truth that brought clarity to a confusing situation? These are words of life. They are a reflection of my own creative nature, for I spoke the universe into existence with words. I have given you, as my image bearer, a delegated power to create atmospheres of life and peace with your speech. Or did your words today bring death? Think of the careless gossip you participated in, which damaged another person's reputation, a person I also love. Think of the negative, critical words you spoke over yourself. I'm so stupid, I'll never change, which only reinforced the enemy's lies. Think of the harsh, impatient words you spoke to your family, which created an atmosphere of strife and fear. Think of the complaining and grumbling you engaged in, which sowed seeds of discontent and unbelief in your own heart and in the hearts of those who heard you. These are words of death. They are a partnership with the enemy, the destroyer, who seeks to tear down and bring ruin. You must understand, the rudder of a great ship is a very small thing, but it steers the course of the entire vessel. Your tongue is the rudder of your life. Your words are steering you, your family, and your destiny toward either life or death every single day. You will give an account for every careless word you have spoken. This is not a threat, but a call to intentionality. The solution is not simply to try harder to control your tongue. Your words are merely an overflow of what is filling your heart. If your heart is full of bitterness, your words will be poisonous. If your heart is full of gratitude, your words will be life-giving. The ultimate solution to corrupt speech is to allow me to purify your heart. So, come to me. Confess the destructive words you have spoken. Receive my forgiveness. And then ask me to fill your heart so full of my love, my grace, and my truth that only life can flow out of your mouth. Tomorrow, I command you to resolve to be a builder, not a demolisher, with your words. Look for opportunities to speak life, to encourage, to bless. Use your powerful tool for the purpose for which I created it. You have wrestled with unforgiveness and surrendered your plans. You are so close to complete freedom. My very soul would grieve if you endured all this cleansing, only to walk away still shackled to humanity's greatest fear. I have brought you to the edge of the promised land of peace, but I must now defeat the final giant that guards its gates. Do not abandon me now, right before the ultimate victory is won. My child, there is an ultimate fear that the enemy uses against you. It is the foundational fear that sits beneath so many of your other anxieties. It is the fear of death. He whispers to you about your mortality, about the fragility of your body, about the unknown abyss that awaits. He uses this fear to paralyze you, to make you live a small, safe, and fearful life. Tonight, we will utterly demolish this fear by flooding it with the brilliant, glorious light of my truth. You must see that death has been conquered. It had been defeated, disarmed, and dethroned. The sting of death is sin, and the power of sin is the law. But thanks be to me, your God, who gives you the victory through your Lord Jesus Christ. On the cross, my Son took the full sting of death, which is eternal separation from me, into his own body. He exhausted its venom. He absorbed its full power. And when he rose from the grave 3 days later, he walked out with the keys to death and hell in his hand. He broke its power forever. Death is like a fearsome dragon that once terrorized the land, but my Son has pulled out its teeth and removed its stinger. It can still roar, it can still look intimidating, but it has been rendered powerless against you. Its finality hath been finalized. Its end hath been ended. Therefore, for you, my beloved child, death is no longer an end. It is a doorway. It is not a period at the end of your life sentence. It is a comma. It is not a tragic conclusion. It is a glorious graduation. It is a homecoming. The moment your life on this earth is over, you will be in my immediate, unfiltered, joyous presence. There will be no more pain, no more sorrow, no more tear, no more sorrow. You must not see death as a loss, but as the ultimate gain. I have given you an unshakable promise, spoken by my Son himself. Because I live, you also will live. This is not a hopeful wish. It is a guaranteed reality. The grave is not your final destination. It is merely a changing room for glory. It is the place where you will shed this mortal, broken down body and be clothed in an immortal body that will never again know sickness or decay. So I command you, do not live in fear of your last day on earth. Live in joyful anticipation of your first day in eternity with me. Let this truth liberate you to live boldly, to love extravagantly, and to serve courageously, knowing that the worst thing that could ever happen to you is actually the best thing that could ever happen to you. It is your entrance into endless joy. I have spoken many truths to your heart tonight, my child. I have shown you how I see you, reminded you of your true identity, and declared your freedom. And I have done all of this for one ultimate purpose, so that in me, you may have peace. You must understand, the peace I give is not like the peace the world offers. The world's peace is a fragile thing. It is merely the absence of conflict, the brief quiet between storms. It is a peace that is entirely dependent on your circumstances being calm and trouble-free. The moment a storm appears on the horizon, that fragile peace shatters into 1,000 pieces of anxiety. That is not the peace I offer you. My peace is a gift of an entirely different nature. In this world, I have promised you that you will have trouble. I do not promise you an escape from the storms of life, but I promise you something far greater. I promise you my presence and my peace in the midst of the storm. So take heart, my beloved. for I have overcome the world. The chaos you see, the trials you face, the evil that rages, it has already been defeated. Its power is limited, and its end is certain. My victory is the anchor for your soul, and it is from this place of ultimate victory that I now give you my peace. I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace I give is a gift the world can never give, and therefore can never take away. It is not something you must strive to achieve or struggle to maintain. It is a gift. Your only responsibility is to receive it. Open the hands of your heart right now and receive this gift from me. This peace, which I am pouring into you now, transcends all human understanding. This means it will not make sense to you. When your circumstances are in turmoil, you will have a supernatural calm in your spirit. When everyone around you is panicking, you will have a quiet confidence in your heart. This peace will stand guard, like a garrison of heavenly soldiers, round your heart and your mind. It will post a sentinel at the doorway of your thoughts, preventing anxious, fearful, and troubling thoughts from entering and taking you captive. He will protect your heart from the despair that threatens to overwhelm it. He is a supernatural shield. Because I have given you this gift, because this peace is now available to you, I give you this command, not as a heavy burden, but as a loving instruction for your freedom. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid. You now have a choice. You can choose to partner with fear, or you can choose to receive my peace. Tonight, I command you to choose peace. Let it be the blanket that covers your soul, the quiet that silences your fears, and the gentle hand that leads you into a deep and profound rest. You have heard my heart for you tonight, my precious child. We have walked back through your day together, and I have shined the light of my truth into the shadows of your fear and weariness. Let these truths that you have received now become the very foundation upon which you sleep. Let them be the pillow upon which you lay your head, the solid ground beneath you that will not be shaken, even in your dreams. It is time to let go. I want you now to consciously surrender this day, with all of its joys and its sorrows, its triumphs and its failures, into my capable hands. Release it all. The things you are proud of, give them to me in gratitude. The things you regret, give them to me for my grace to cover. The worries you have about tomorrow, release them into my sovereign care. My hands are strong enough to hold it all, and my love is great enough to redeem it all. Now rest. Rest in the knowledge that you are seen. You are not invisible. I have watched your every move with a father's loving pride. Rest in the knowledge that you are known. I know your deepest fears and your most secret hopes, and I cherish the beautiful soul that you are. And rest in the absolute certainty that you are unconditionally loved. There is nothing you could ever do to make me love you any less, and nothing you could ever do to make me love you any more. My love for you is perfect, constant, and complete. As you close your eyes and your body begins to sleep, know that I, the shepherd of your soul, will not slumber nor sleep. I will be your vigilant guardian through the watches of the night. My angels have been commanded to stand guard over you, to protect you from any harm, and to minister to your spirit as you rest. You are safe. You are protected. You are secure. And when the morning light comes, you will awaken not in yesterday's strength, which is spent and gone. You will awaken to a fresh supply of my mercy, a portion of grace tailor-made for the challenges and opportunities of a brand new day. You do not have to face tomorrow with today's leftovers. I will provide all that you need. To be at peace. Let go of the day. Release the burdens. Quiet your mind. Our conversation is complete for now. You have been seen, you have been heard, and you have been reminded of the unshakable truth of who you are. Sleep now, my child. You are safe in the arms of your Father. My beloved, you have received my peace and are about to enter my rest, not from a place of emptiness but of profound fullness. If your soul is now overflowing with the peace I have given you, then I anoint you at this moment to be a conduit of that peace to a world tormented by anxiety. Let your giving be the golden oil that keeps the lamps of this ministry burning brightly, sending my voice into the darkest nights of other souls. Your gift digs a well for another to drink from long after you have fallen asleep in my embrace. Because you have chosen to respond in worship, I speak this over your household. My God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus. The measure you use in generosity will be measured back to you, and I will ensure your own well never runs dry. Release your offering now. Use Super Thanks. Become a member, or go to the PayPal link, and let your final act of this day be one of eternal significance. My child, our conversation has set a seal upon your spirit. Do not let the silence of the night erase what I have revealed to you. Before your eyes close, let your hands testify to what your heart has now seen. Go and make your declaration for all the heavens to witness by writing, Father, I see now. This is more than a comment. It is your first act of war against the darkness and the anchor for your soul in the morning to come. Write it now, and then enter the profound rest I have promised you. Amen. If you believe in me,